I don't know what to do.
Hello and welcome everyone to this week's episode of Good Society. And by this week's episode, I mean our last episode, our finale of Upon the Hexhamshire Moors. We're gonna go around, we're gonna say who we are, who we're playing, and then get started. So I will start with myself, as I normally do, because I'm already talking. Makes it less awkward. I'm Lindy. I will be playing Lady Violet Brastleton, mother of two, wife of Roland Brastleton, and, a countess. She's pretty cool, really frail. She's alright. Anyways, someone who's more than alright would be Yutsai. Yutsai, how are you today?
I am more than all right. Hello, I'm Yutsai. I'll be playing Charles Way, father of one, happily married, getting on in years, and ready for his happy ever after.
Oh, someone who's already had their happily ever after because I was at their wedding is Nuggetosaurus. How are you?
I'm good. It's Wednesday, which is always a good day. I'm playing Hattie Sedgwick Altringham, who's now Victoria Astor in the Americas. And I don't know what's gonna happen with them. I have no clue how their life is gonna be from this point on. So we'll see how that goes.
Someone who has no clue how their life's gonna be, but has had just as many name changes as Hattie Sedgwick, Altringham, Victoria Astor would be Wandering DM, aka Roland, aka
Hello,
John.
aka
AKA.
Captain John William James, aka Mr. Chumley, aka the silent killer of Barton Mills.
Someone
Not
is.
so silent. But I am the Reaper of Souls.
Or
I am the Reaper. I am the whatever. I am the monster you need me to be in order to get resolve tokens. Hi everyone, I'm Simon at Wandering DM. I'm playing, of course, Lord Roland Brastleton. Cannot say newlywed anymore because it's been over 10 years. But he's gone back from the war. He got hurt and we'll sorry, got back from the war.
Oh, yeah.
And he got hurt.
Crowd suppression.
And
Yeah.
Someone who loves crowd suppression is our facilitator, Trooper. How are you?
I'm writing down my notes. Session
To
12.
to
Murder
suppress us, the crowd.
them all.
Yeah. See, I told you.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
And
Not incorrect.
I'm Trooper SJP, and I am the facilitator for this. So here's the thing. Two things. One, maybe three things, maybe four things. I don't know. First thing, I started a virtual race challenge upon the Hadrian's Wall, so that on my bicycle, so that when I get to Barton's Mill, I'm going to note where we are on the map, so I can be like, oh, this is where we were in our game, and I'm just like really excited for it. And I love Simon's eye patch more than you'll know. And look, Lindy, you'll know it. This has been in my head all day, and if I cannot know what song it is, I'm not going to be able to facilitate this game.
Oh, I'll know it.
I hope so.
Okay.
It's the you do that voodoo that that you know so well. It's Cole Porter, I'm pretty sure. But that part is not the chorus, and so it's.
Are you sure it's not Voodoo That You Do by no, You Do Something to Me by Cole Porter.
Thank you. That's what it is. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
I know,
Thank
I
you.
like Cole Porter.
Yeah, me too. And I was like, this is a Cole Porter song, and I only have that one part, do that voodoo that you do so well.
It's the
I'm like,
catchiest part of the song.
it's really good, but then I was like, this is not going to help me because I cannot get the title off of this, and I will be distracted.
You're welcome. That I could
Thank
be of
you.
help.
Thank you. Look, this is what happens. But here we are in our finale, and these players, they do their voodoo to me. And we are going to start with wrapping up our upkeep, and then our epistolary, and then move into our very, very final half cycle. It has been an honor. I'm going to just note that Hattie has had as many last names as Alexis Carrington, Colby, Dexter, Colby Carrington from Dynasty, and she was evil. So for all I know, Hattie is also secretly evil. I'm just saying it's possible.
Well, obviously
don't
she's
know.
a sharpshooter assassin for Napoleon.
I mean, people have talked about it on more than one occasion.
This is true.
And we have seen her. So, I'm gonna just say a couple of things. Barnes
Only a
Mill.
couple.
Only a
Sorry.
Only a couple.
Stop sassing you.
No, you can sass me all you want. I'll just take notes for later. Barnes Mill is a small town near Hexham in Hexhamshire, in Northumberland, out there by Newcastle, along the Hadrian's Wall, the wall that was built to hold the Celts and the Picts back from the Roman Empire. It's a town of great sleepy wealth and power and great poverty. It's a town where everybody knows everybody, but people still can hold secrets. And upon the Hexhamshire moors, there have been generations of conflict between families. Rivalries, plots, plans, discord visited from elder upon younger. And yet, this generation has tried hard to bury those hatchets. They've learned secrets. They have buried fathers. They have lied. They have lied for good reasons, for bad reasons. They have killed a lot of people who were eligible for AARP, which makes me nervous for myself. And throughout all of this, they have tried to create families of some sort. They have tried to fulfill their desires of some sort. Oh, other doc, you just mentioned A.R. Gurney. We'll talk about that later. And in this, yeah, I suppose I do have like 5 years before I get murdered here in this town. Yeah, it's true. And at this moment, we find ourselves, all of our characters have come to a spot where they have all achieved all of their dreams. And there is nothing more to be had because everything is fine. Perhaps. And we're going to go into our upkeep at the end of this fourth cycle, because it is, after all, with the upkeep where they spend their fortune points and they resolve all of their problems, and we find out, everything good in the world, one assumes. Perhaps. We have aged up everyone, but let me ask everyone now. Desires, short and long term. I know that people have achieved theirs. Who no longer has any desires or needs another one? We should go and get ourselves some desires.
I have none.
You have no desires.
I've cleared through like 3 sets of desires. I am a beast.
Desire. Well, that's a lot right there.
It's a lot of desire.
Yes. Lindy, why don't we start with you? You have no desires. What are these desires up here on our
Oh, those are used.
20.
Those are done. I can delete them.
Let me delete these. All these desires here. What about these? Can I delete all these that are on the mat?
These two at the bottom left are mine.
Okay. Have you? Well, I will come back to you. Lindy.
Yes.
I'm going to give you some desires.
Cool.
For short and long term.
Cool.
These are for your short term desires.
Okay.
Your choices are, I'll read you the front side. There are people who the more you do for them, the less they will do for themselves. What is right to be done cannot be done too soon. And marriage is indeed a maneuvering business. Short term.
Short term. Okay. Well, the middle one, what is right to be done cannot be done too soon, intrigues me, so I will flip it.
Check it
read
out. See what
Yeah,
else
I'll
it says.
check it out.
Mhm.
Oh, I've already done this one.
All right, look at the other two.
Let's move that. The problem when you do a lot of desires is sometimes you've already done
Burn
them.
through 'em.
You just boom, 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 boom.
Mhm.
Just a monster.
And while that is happening, Nugget, one or both of your desires do you need to have replaced?
I need to replace my long-term
Ooh,
desire.
All right. In which case,
I've picked a short-term desire. Marriage is indeed a maneuvering business.
interesting. I'm going to hand you 3 for long term. Marriage is indeed a maneuvering business. Our scars make us know that our past was real twice. And Nugget, here are 3 for your long term, if I believe. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
I have dreamt in my life dreams that have stayed with me ever after. Marriage is indeed a maneuvering business, and I always deserve the best treatment because I never put up with any other. Please, you may check those out and decide which one will be your new long-term desire. And while you two are thinking, let me ask, Yutsai, how about Charles and short and long term?
Charles has failed one, succeeded the other.
So you need 2 then.
Yes.
Indeed, excellent. Once one of these 2 has gone off the deck, I will add you.
I chose mine.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Excellent. Let me take these off of the table for you then. Make sure it's in your hand if you have it. Excellent.
Did that one.
Yutsai, what are these 2 desires down here? Are these yours? The bottom left? Are those your
Sorry.
old ones?
Yes, those 2 are my old ones.
Let me delete those. All right. So here for you, 3 for your new short term. And these all may be doomed, which I appreciate. Marriage is indeed a maneuvering business. A large income is the best recipe for happiness I ever heard of. And you know that I could as soon forget you as my existence.
I mean, the first 2 seem familiar. The last one's a wild card. I'll go with the wild card.
You can look at the
Trooper,
back first.
I've already done all those.
All 3?
Yeah.
You've won.
did.
You've won.
I've won
Violet.
good society. I've done all of the desires.
You have done all of them. Here are 3 more.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I just deleted that one. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I like
There's
that design.
more. They're more myself than I am. Whatever our souls are made of, theirs and mine are the same.
Okay.
Twice. And there are people who, the more you do for them, the less they'll do for themselves.
Okay.
And Yutsai, you've chosen your short term.
That is correct.
Make sure you add it to your hand.
It is added.
Already done that one.
Okay. And then here is for your long term.
Ooh.
Your choices, Yutsai, for your long term are: they were as strangers, worse than strangers, for they could never become acquainted. What is right to be done cannot be done too soon, and selfishness must always be forgiven, because there is no hope of a cure.
I think I'll try the middle. What is right to be done cannot be done too soon.
Mhm. Nugget, do you have yours?
My
New
which
desire.
one? Yeah, I grabbed it already.
Okay.
Perfect.
I done one of them already, and the other one is not applicable because I'm already wed.
Sure.
So that leaves that middle one, which is whew.
Excellent. Take that one then.
I don't
Okay.
believe this one is applicable either, Trooper.
Perfect.
Like
or else I have to break up with myself.
it's not
Yeah.
terribly in character. But that makes it more spicy.
Love it. Love it.
Okay.
So you've taken?
Yes, I took one. I found one that I haven't done.
Mhm.
/ I've already married, so
Perfect.
I can't already marry my secret fiance because I already did that.
Unless, and unless you have other things going on. And Yutsai, have you
No.
taken your long term?
No, I checked the middle one. Do I just choose one of these other 2? Okay, I'll try this one then.
And while that is happening, Simon, what about Roland, pardon me.
Yeah, I need both. I need both short term and long term.
Well then, excellent. Let me shuffle these for you.
Because I could as soon forget Anselm as I could forget myself.
Well, he got
Anselm who?
For your short term, you have 3 choices. I do not advise you to marry for love alone. There are many, many other things to be considered. There are people who, the more you do for them, the less they'll do for themselves. And a large income is the best recipe for happiness I ever heard of.
I mean, considering everything that's happening in his life right now, and everything that happened in the last 10 years, my immediate goal would be the third one.
Well, look at the back.
A large
and see if you
income,
like it.
Mister.
You have to look at the back and see if you like it, if it works for you.
That doesn't work.
No? All right, then look at the other 2, because it might not work, you know.
Doesn't work.
So I'll give you a new one.
That works. I'm taking the first one.
Perfect. You've
I
taken it.
do not advise to marry for love alone.
Also, get rid of your old
Take it.
cards.
Yeah. You go.
I think this
There you
will
go.
work, Trooper. It's a little out of left field though, but
I
technically
love it.
doable.
All right. Let me just delete all these cards that don't need to be here. Nugget, I don't see you on Roll20.
I'm there.
I
There
see.
you are.
I see.
There you are. You are gone. And then Simon, for your long term. They were strangers, worse than strangers, for they could never become acquainted. Marriage is indeed a maneuvering business, and I do not advise you to marry for love alone. There are
Well,
many
could
other
we
things.
could we redraw the last 2, because I already got one and the other one is the one I have right now.
But they may be different ones because their backs
The
are
fronts and the
different.
backs don't always match.
Yeah, the fronts and backs do
okay.
not always match.
You got to pay attention to the card numbers at the top.
Yeah, because the backs sometimes say very different things.
I had not paid attention to the numbers when we started playing originally,
Yes.
so I don't know if I've had them before. So let me just
Just
Let me just
peek, because
flip them.
the
Little
front's a
peeks.
little deceptive.
Hmm.
And Simon, while you're thinking that, I would like to start with Lindy.
I'm going to
Lindy.
take the last one, number 168.
Do it. Everyone now has their short and long-term desires. Who knows if they will be fulfilled? But I would like to, if they're secret from everyone else, but I was wondering if perhaps you might be willing to give us a sort of a cryptic thoughts about your desires, so that we're all sort of teased, but we don't know what they are. And I feel like Lindy should start.
That's a great thing if I remembered what they say on the back well enough. I
want cryptic teases.
Yes. I had a short term and a long term. I picked the short term first. And my short term desire. I think I need to flip it.
I honor you. I honor you.
Pick the
Flip
upper
it,
left
reverse it?
corner. Yeah, reverse it.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember now. Yes, that makes sense. Teaser, cryptic teaser.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want all the players to be like, "What's going on?" And the audience to be like, "Wah ha ha ha," and me be like, "Wah ha ha ha." That's what I want.
Okay. Something my character's been facilitating multiple times all game. I feel like that's cryptic enough.
Yeah. Poisoning. Go ahead. And your new long-term desire?
Oof. Oh, I'm not sold on it because it seems kind of out of character, but it's the only one I hadn't done already or that applied. I'll just do this.
Oh, it's the baby. Interesting. So your desire is to kidnap a baby. Got it.
You know?
Got it. Nugget, can you tease your new desire?
Well, we know that Yutsai has kidnapped my son.
Okay.
Held him for ransom. Discord.
Teaser. Okay. Okay. It will be easier to do in the Americas than it would have been to do in
Ooh,
Great
Ooh.
Britain.
Oh, interesting.
so intrigued. That's such a good teaser.
That's such a good teaser. That's a very, very good teaser. That's a good teaser. You only replaced one, yes? Yes. Yutsai.
Yes. Short
Give it a
term
teaser.
first. Someone's going to get what's coming to them.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Okay. Long-term teaser?
Long-term teaser. That was a little trickier, but let me double check real quick. We were all young once.
I love my life right now.
Trooper.
Simon.
Trooper,
Yes.
I want to change my long-term desire. I've been sitting on it, and
Okay.
it doesn't feel right.
Okay.
It just seems too out of character, if that
All
makes sense.
Here, look at those while
Okay.
I ask Simon to give us a teaser.
Okay. I was just sitting on it, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't like how that feels."
Wait, and I'll give you one more. Just in
Okay.
Murder
case.
my
Just in
husband.
case.
Yes.
So for my short term, the teaser is like father, like son.
Oh.
Ooh.
And for my long term, it's there that I have a little bit more of a harder time. Long term, I think I would say I've made it.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to go with Lindy last here because she's still looking at her
Mhm.
long-term desire. And because we are where we are, the spending of fortune points right now might be quite important for setting yourselves up for your desires if you so, if that would be useful and helpful for you. So we have this part of the upkeep is to spend our fortune.
Oh, I'm going to take this one.
What is
but
right
Yes,
to be done cannot be done too soon.
but I'm going to do it in a creative way.
Do that.
I'm taking a creative interpretation on the card.
That's fine.
Okay,
I honor
yes.
that.
And that teaser still involves, but in a different way.
More kidnapping.
Grab the bird.
So fortune points with your and people have earned a lot of fortune points because many
Feel better
things
about
have
that one.
happened to them.
Yes.
And with your fortune points, this will probably be the last time you can spend them. We'll see. Maybe,
Ooh.
maybe not. We'll see. We might get one more round of them. You may spend a fortune point to change a character role, to change a family background, to create a new connection, to change a connection's fortune, or to establish a relationship. And I'm going to start with Yutsai.
Hello. I need to establish a new relationship because that's part of my long-term goal.
Oh,
Now that's free. That's
Oh.
for free because it's part of your long-term goal.
Right. But I need to create.
It's 1831. You're 42 years
Yes.
old.
I'm
Yeah.
old. Almost in the danger zone.
you still have 13 years.
Before the murder.
Yeah. Before you're in the danger zone.
So
I like to think. Oh, no.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say something silly, so go ahead.
Oh, okay. I have to create an uncle.
Oh,
An uncle. Ooh.
that's exciting.
Perhaps
That-
someone from my mother's side of the family.
Yes. Yes. Give your uncle a name.
My uncle's name is.
Put it where that general is.
Why don't we go with something like Gosh. I'll be honest, I just kind of mine like my extended family for names, but now every name feels weird to use because I've used it before.
What about something like 1831? Where's your uncle from?
Asia, China, probably.
China. I wonder if maybe, let's see, because we have some options. We're 1830s. Shanghai's a really important port town. What about
why don't we go with Leo?
Leo Wei. I like it. Because this is your uncle, there is a question I must ask, because someone may have to take upon your uncle. These things are important.
Is he above age 55?
That's one question we really need to know. Probably.
Yes, probably.
Oof. Don't invite him to
but-
Barton's Mill.
Let's put down Charles's uncle. It's not how you spell Charles. You must answer this question. I think Charles is. How does your uncle think about you?
Appraisingly distant. It's not really committed personally. It's more of just evaluating what I've done in life.
But what does he think about you? He thinks you're what?
Adequate.
Adequate. Ooh, that's rough. That's a bit rough. Adequate. That's a bit rough. Okay. What does your uncle do?
He is a very successful. He's a very successful company president. Actually, probably, if not the same line of business I'm doing, perhaps tangentially related. So maybe instead of dealing with trading ships and such and transport and cargo, perhaps he's in the business of maintaining ports and being being in charge of those.
Like
so
a portmaster.
Yeah.
How old?
What's the danger zone for Earthtown?
55 and up.
Let's say 57.
Oh,
A Nugget? Do you want to play? I'm just asking. Okay, good. Now, what else would you like to do with your fortune tokens?
I would like to create another connection.
Please.
I have a cousin.
Oh, this is mysterious. A cousin. Say more.
Her name is the first name that came to mind was Emma.
Good
I was
name.
going to give her the last name Lee, but that just kind of makes Emily.
a little
But
bit.
that's not necessarily bad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not mad about it. Let's see. Let me grab this. You're gonna think Emma Lee.
Yes.
Okay. Let's get. What can you tell me about Emma?
She is very strong-willed. She is very gifted, has lots of training and education, but she's young. She's still pretty young, at the very cusp of adulthood, very much, like maybe 1 foot in adulthood, and wants to tackle the world and everything in it. Very much see a bit of Jennifer in her.
Charles's cousin. How old is she?
What would be the cusp of adulthood? Like the bare minimum age of like being able to take responsibility for things without being like too wild.
17.
Yeah, 16's your coming of age.
Yeah.
Okay, 17 works.
Okay. And answer this question. I think Charles is, from her point of view,
A problem.
Oh.
Or no, a bit more defined, an obstacle.
okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's fair. We will come back to see if you
She
have
should
more.
not meet Jennifer.
Or she should. Or she should. Yes, let's go around and see, and we'll come back to you. Let's go next to Nugget. Do you have some fortune tokens to spend?
Yes. I would like to spend 3 fortune tokens.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
The first of which is to change from the cornerstone
Yes.
to shit, what was it? The tutor.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let me go and do that for you.
Mhm.
You are now the tutor. Tell us something about the tutor.
What is the tutor?
I'm
So
gonna give it to you.
essentially,
Right.
every child of means is in need of an education, and it just so happens that you are in need of a child of means. Though much of your learning derives from books, your dashing manner and
Hmm.
I can't read that. It's so freaking small. Hold on.
I've put it in the Roll20 for you.
Quit. Yes. Has been sharpened well against the greatest cynics pastoral England has to offer. An introduction of circumstance is all that is required, and one of these little brats with silver spoons you hold is sure to oblige.
Hmm.
The second
Mhm.
fortune point that
It's
I'm
very
going to
interesting.
spend is to change my family background to new money.
Interesting,
Mhm.
interesting. I am going to find that fascinating. I will get you a copy of New Money right now.
Awesome.
Very
Um,
interesting.
And then my final fortune point is going to be used to make a connection with hold on, I had it a second ago. He's going to be an architect.
Interesting. What is Nugget
Uh,
planning right now? That's what I want to know.
His name is James H. Dakin. Dakin.
Oh, Dacon, I would
Dacon.
imagine. Yes.
If it's Ian, wouldn't it be in?
Dakin? Is it
Dakin?
Ian?
Ian. Dakin.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it's a hard C.
Yeah.
Hard C. Or than Dason, yeah. Mhm.
His age.
Is he 55? I just need to know.
He's not. He is
Okay.
25.
Oh, suspicious. Go on.
He is 25. He is an architect who specializes in Greek, Gothic revival, and Egyptian architecture.
Give me a moment to make a copy here. And let me ask you, because this will have to be placed right here. I'm going to do that right now. Boom. And then one more. Let us put this person for you in your sheet. What's his name?
James H. Dakin. Dakin. Dakin.
Oh, Dakin.
Dakin.
25.
25.
And would you please answer this question? I think Hattie is, from his point of view,
ambitious.
Okay.
And that's all I'm gonna do with my tokens.
Please remove those tokens from your sheet. Simon.
Hello.
Do you have some fortune tokens you'd like to spend?
To change anything? No, I am actually fine where I am.
Oh, okay. All right. So like within these 10 years of maneuvering, you don't have any sort of either character role, family background, connections, fortunes, etc. that you wish to do?
The connections that I have for my desires, I already have them.
Do
Um,
you want to change any connections, fortunes?
what's their fortune?
Like you could change them from orphans to peerages. You can, you can change their life circumstances.
Yeah, I don't want to change Justinian's life circumstances
You could.
He's doing pretty
at
good.
the moment.
All right.
So no, I'm going to sit where I am, and I don't believe that Roland took to peerage just yet.
Yeah.
Not after what we talked about last time.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Lindy.
I'm staying peerage, but I am changing to the cornerstone
You
From-
will be our cornerstone.
from the heir. Changing
That
from
makes
heir to
sense.
cornerstone.
That makes sense. It is now yours.
Thank you.
Spend that fortune token. Anything else?
Yes. I am creating a new NPC.
Go on.
Or two. Maybe two.
Spend those
I'm-
fortune tokens.
I'm for sure. Let's see, do we add little baby Iris to the NPCs? She's so young.
I thought she was already there.
Not yet.
She can't really get you in trouble yet.
No.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, so I'll hold off on her for now. I do want to make
Pause. Audience, chat, just pay attention to whatever she's gonna do. Go on.
yes, oh yeah, this is a perfect name. A young lass by the name of Heather Jills.
Oh. Interesting indeed. Relationship?
She's Edmund Jills's daughter.
No, relationship.
I know, I'm just explaining a couple of
Violet.
things.
Also your daughter? I just need to know.
No, she's yeah, she just have to have a relationship to me, doesn't she?
It could be very vague. It could be like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is.
She's sweet on Justinian.
Also, reminder that her dad is dead
He was killed.
because I
Yeah.
killed him.
You did! Oh,
You did.
thanks!
You did kill him.
Thanks for that. That's great.
Please answer this question from Heather's point of view. I think Violet is.
Oh, let's see. I think Violet is Lady Braselton is. Gosh, what's the right word? Stick in the mud. It's the nice way of saying it.
Sure. And how old is she?
Oh, she's the same age as Justinian, I think.
So 10.
Mm-hmm.
And Yutsai, I'm coming back to you.
Yes. I don't know how much this would muck things up, but I do remember you saying last time we could resume play as a different character.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Because as Charles is right now, Charles is at the state of his story where he's happy. Everything's good.
Yes.
He doesn't really want
Mhm.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. Like there's a couple loose ends he could like work on
Absolutely.
tying up, but I mean, I could also come back as Emma Lee, this new troublemaker.
Yes.
I
you
thought
could.
about becoming Jennifer, but I was like, I think she's a bit too much of a troublemaker.
You don't know.
Oh, I mean, I have
So
some
what would be
ideas.
involved with me coming back as Emma Lee?
Well, Charles would become a connection character, most likely to Emma, and you would take your role and family background and we get you some desires. That's it.
You know what? I think I'll do that. Charles is happy.
Mm.
Charles has reached his happily ever after. Time to come back as someone who will fuck it up.
Oh, this is very exciting.
Yeah.
Everyone, this is very exciting. Which role would you like Emma to be?
Emma would definitely be.
We currently have a new arrival, a careerist, a tutor, and a cornerstone. So one of the ones that are left over, heir, socialite, hedonist, dowager, dependent, and meddler.
I think dependent, and she hates that.
Love it. Love it. Let me give you the dependent. And if you might, what's the family background?
The family background is humble origins.
Humble origins. And so it is done. Shall we give you 2 new desires?
Actually, both of them can still work.
Perfect. Then we shall. You'll have to now tell us something about Emma. If you would, you can just put Emma up. You can replace Emma with Charles.
Swap him out.
Swap him out. Tell us something about Emma.
What do you mean?
Well, when has she arrived in Barton's Mill?
Probably enough to know the way of how things work, but still fairly recent that she still has trouble remembering names and such.
If she's a dependent, who's she dependent on?
Charles.
I thought as much. So Charles is now the person that she's having to deal with. Love it. You do know that since you've swapped Charles with Emma, you now must answer the question.
What question?
I think Emma is.
Oh.
From Charles's point of view.
I think Emma is brash and overeager.
Yes. Finish filling out that because I'm really excited to see how you would do that because I think that's gonna be very exciting. Anyone else for our fortune tokens, and make sure you've spent them because they're options now.
Got some pretty juicy desires for Violet, so I think I'm gonna stay. As much as I want to do Jennifer, I think she's just too much fun to be the chaos character in the background with all those resolve tokens.
All right.
Okay. Having way too much fun with her as a side character.
We are now the moment we will remove any outdated connections. Please review. I believe Lord Rupert is probably now done.
Oh yes, Lord, my father's been dead for quite some time.
How about Abigail Bird?
She's not dead yet.
No, she knows the bodies are buried. Rafferty is done.
He's also very
Justine
dead.
Is fine.
It says on his thing, super dead.
Super dead.
Yeah.
Heather's good. And now for Roland, Anselme's dead. Enguerrand's dead. Amastan has pieced out. You, my friend, do not have any current connections.
Nope. I'm
Lisa.
hijacking the connections of other people.
Oh, I see. I see. All right. Okay. Okay. Jennifer's alive. Rick is alive. Samuel is alive. Leo, Charles, all alive. Leslie is alive. Inspector Gridley, still relevant. Yeah or nay? It's up to you.
I think he's done.
Yeah.
We narrated him being like, that's the last case.
Yeah, he retired.
I'm good. He retired.
He's retired.
It's been 10 years anyway.
Yeah.
Lord Gregory Wimbledon, the lawyer from London. Relevant, yeah or nay?
I don't think so.
I don't think so anymore.
Selma and Oscar in their 20s, good. Amelia Brown, charity manager.
Quick
I don't know.
question.
I don't know if she's. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
you're fine.
Intrusive. Do I get rid of all my tags?
Yes, because
Okay.
you're a new person.
I am a new person.
Yeah.
Charles,
I get to change my positive tag thing, don't I? Because I still have
Yes.
all my tags.
Yes. Amelia Brown, charity manager.
I don't think so because she'd be working with Chandra, so or
Okay.
Reka.
Mhm. And Dakin is good.
Yes.
Yes. And from mine, Edmund Gills has been murdered. Faith Gills is still around, but she's now 35.
She married yet?
Yes.
Oh, finally. She was not the last jump, and it was like, oof,
No.
girl.
Our
You were
general is no
making fun of
longer
Hattie.
relevant. Okay. Yes, and yes, she is married. I have a question. May I spend a fortune token?
For what?
I mean, can we stop you?
Yes. There's
Okay.
always no buts as well as or no and yes buts and so forth.
Mhm.
Yes,
I
butts,
would-
nose, and hands.
Yes, I would like her to be married to either Samuel or Oscar. Scandalously.
Faith?
Yes.
She's so much older than they
Yes,
are.
she is.
My Samuel and Oscar?
Yes.
What?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, they're already 20? Wow.
They
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
already 20. And she'll
Justinian's
be
10.
35.
Mm.
You can
None of
say
my
no.
You can say yes, but or
is-
no. You have many choices.
Hattie, which is your least favorite son?
Shit.
Mhm. Mhm. And I want their wedding to be happening in this cycle.
Barf. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
if Oscar fell in love, are you going to argue against that, Hattie?
If it's Lady Faith, I would.
Faith. Shit. Okay. Yeah, I'll allow it. That's fine.
All
Oh
right.
my
But-
god.
But
Please take a please take a result
but-
token.
I will take the resolve token. But she has to live here in the Americas.
I want her
Ooh.
in Barden Mill so that you have to come and visit.
Oh,
Ah,
that's the purpose.
Mhm.
that's fine, I guess.
Yes. All right.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll take it.
I have a proposal for you to get Bardsville without having to marry off your son to Lady Faith.
Oh,
Yes.
I
You have a
still want that
daughter.
drama though.
You have a daughter, right?
yeah,
Justinian is
That's-
totally
that is
eligible
true.
to be wed.
that is true.
Still though.
And a lot of time has passed. The heat's died down. You think you might be okay?
The risk.
And Justinian, it's a matrilineal line, so he could go back with you to the Americas, but she'd want the wedding here. You
He's
know.
also 10.
Yeah. Well, okay,
Yeah.
but they can meet.
Arranged marriage.
Arranged
yeah.
marriages
sure.
happened all the time. He
Yeah.
could go back with you. I could send him back with you to the Americas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think I like Lindy's proposal better.
Okay.
So I'll still come back.
So
but
you're gonna go and have your 10-year-old betrothed off to marriage.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, you know it's gonna be now worse for your children. I just want you to know. But let me
Yes.
give me back my resolve token.
You can have it. I just can't have a Jills in the family. I'm
I,
sorry.
we just can't.
Oh, you will. It'll be really bad. It'll be
You
awful. I'm gonna
say
make it the
that.
worst ever.
We can always say no, Trooper. We can just be like,
That is correct.
no. You'll be like, the consequences are
correct.
terrible. We'll be like, no.
That is correct. Okay. And with that done,
Look, I created drama by making Heather Jills. We don't need Faith.
oh yes, you do. You need all the faith. You gotta have faith. That's
She
what
can
George Michael
be-
said.
George Michael can suck a dick. That's-
Well, actually, so does everyone have a connection character that they're playing?
I have
Utah's
one.
got Samuel. Lindy's got Jennifer.
Another
Yes.
one of
I
mine
have
has
Samuel.
died.
Yeah, another.
Or you
I'm
the
sorry.
other Samuel.
All of
There-
yours
Oh,
keep dying, Nugget.
Nugget, you don't have one right now, do you?
I don't think so.
Who wants
Yeah.
another
Because I killed
50s
Jills.
Who wants another old man?
Nugget,
Are
would you
there
like
any? Are
We've
there
got-
any
yeah,
men
yeah.
left?
Yeah, there's Leo Way.
Yeah, Leo Way's old.
Hey. Yeah, I'll take Leah away.
Or you could be Heather Jills.
You could be
Mm.
Heather or Faith, maybe. She's not
All
claimed
those things
yet.
are all
Barf.
available.
I think I like Heather. I'm gonna
Heather?
be
All right.
Heather.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we'll just put Nugget in there. I am so excited for the drama that's going to happen right now. Oh, it's going to be bad
Oh, that means
Um,
there's a new Lord High Sheriff in town if Edmund Chills is dead.
because he's been murdered.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that
a
it's
tragic
fortune
hunting
token.
accident.
It's a fortune token if you want one of your peeps to have that job.
Hmm.
So because that's changing
Hey, Simon, you want to be the
Mhm.
new Lord High Sheriff? Or Charles? Oh, that would be exciting.
Charles is busy with his
Okay.
stuff, but Samuel's has been being kind of like a second assistant ever since he
he's not a
started
noble.
working in this world.
Yeah, it's gonna be scandalous.
He's not a noble.
I mean, I've quelled rebellions.
You have.
Mhm,
I
Mhm.
have had a brush with the law.
mhm, mhm.
I think I am fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You'd probably be more fair than Edmund was.
Yes. Spend that fortune token, and you are the new Lord High Sheriff.
All right, let's do that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Bam.
Mhm. Now, upon receiving the Lord High Sheriff position, you have not yet monologued, and so it is now time
Oh, yeah.
for Roland's monologue. At the moment that he is, let us say, you are at court for the Duke, and you are being knighted and appointed new Lord High Sheriff. What is going on? Also, who is here at this ceremony in this moment?
I'm there.
Well, I mean, my family, of course.
Yeah.
All of
Um,
them? Like, I don't
I
know if
mean-
people are like running around or, skipping
Justinian's
town.
there at least.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, I figure we have to have like a nanny. For
Jennifer's a coin toss.
Because you never know with her.
Let's see, odds she's there, evens she's not. Or even she's there, odds she's not.
Or odd, she's there, but in
She's there.
disguise.
She's there.
Okay.
Okay.
What is Roland thinking at this moment when you've got, and I, the Duke of Northumberland, do hereby announce, and like there's probably a wig
Thing.
involved. Yeah. Some swords.
I wonder what my new responsibilities will be. Not like I've seen the other Lord High Sheriff a lot. Am I even going to have time to just spend time with Violet and the kids? Oh Lord, am I going to have to go to the bottom of this dreadful mine? At least we can put to rest the whole vampire nonsense. Shit, I think he said something that I needed to reply to.
And so I get all my resolve tokens back, of course. Inner conflict time. That's our last of our upkeep. Let's begin with Nugget. Let's talk about your inner conflict.
Okay. My inner conflict is charity versus family. So you took action in pursuit of this. I'd say I did in pursuit of charity because I set it up and got all of that going.
Yes. But perhaps also family.
Yeah, I'd say so. You sacrificed something important to you for this. Family, I sacrificed my charity for my family.
You did, absolutely. Yeah.
You hurt or pushed away someone important to you for this. I don't think I did.
Okay.
You degraded your reputation or went against your conscience for this.
Yes.
How?
You are no longer who you were. I feel that's a big degrade of your reputation, don't you think?
True. For family, yeah.
Yeah.
And then your actions in pursuit of this side destroyed your chance of successfully pursuing the other. I'd say family, absolutely.
Okay. Yes. You are almost complete with your inner
Almost.
conflict towards family versus charity.
Mhm.
Yes. Lindy,
Hi, it me.
did you tell us about your inner conflict?
Heart versus duty.
Mm,
You took action in pursuit of this. Both of those are already checked. You sacrificed something important to you for this. I don't think so.
mhm.
You hurt or pushed away someone important to you for this. That's tricky.
Mm. Say more.
Because Hattie is important to Violet,
Yes.
and I encouraged her to leave
Yes.
the country. So
You
one
did.
could say I did push her away. I didn't hurt her, but I did push her away.
Yeah.
Probably in a heart way, because I don't know if Judy would have been like, yes, but the bastard. So heart.
Yes.
Get a check for that.
Yep.
You degraded your reputation and went against your conscience for this. Both of those are already checked.
Mhm.
Your actions in pursuit of this side destroyed your chance of successfully pursuing the other. I don't think so.
Well, my friend, you have 6 ticks in your inner conflict, which
Finally,
means you must
after this
advance
entire game.
you must advance your inner conflict. Now, your inner conflict has sort of resolved itself a little bit inconclusively. So, for your inner conflict, you tell me
Mm-hmm.
you're going to need a new inner conflict, which may be the same old one or maybe slightly
Yeah.
shifted. But I would like you to reflect upon this. Give us a reflection on your inner conflict. Place yourself somewhere in the world.
Barden Mill,
Mhm.
UK. That's where I place her. Heart versus duty. Yeah, she's made a lot of decisions over the past, almost 20 years now?
Mhm.
Between the two, it's been a very difficult and slow and long inner conflict, whereas the people around her typically tended to progress their inner conflicts a little more quicker. She was very, one might say, desire-oriented rather than inner
Mhm.
conflict-oriented. But in the end, heart won out.
Did it?
She, that is a good that's a fair point.
Because
Duty's important to her, but
because you're still the lady,
she
you're
does,
still the countess.
yeah, she does tend to lean more towards heart than duty. Sacrificing things, pushing away things. Gosh, she might be able to go her whole life just battling against heart versus duty.
Let me ask you: is heart versus duty the inner conflict that you retain when you clear, or does it shift in some way? Thinking about your moment where you're at.
You know, I think it's still heart versus duty, but not for her personal self now.
Continue.
It's for her children.
That sounds like family versus duty.
Okay, sure. Yes, we can go family versus duty. It's a similar concept, but it's more in
Yes.
regards to her kids rather than her personal self, because her personal
Yes.
self chose heart.
Yes.
But duty still
Sort of.
weighs on her. Yeah.
Yes. Take 2
It's
fortune
shifted from
points.
personal to family.
Yeah.
Okay. Take 2 fortune points, you said? Or
That is correct.
not damn.
And we will clear that for you.
I will make it family
You'd
versus
say.
duty.
Yes.
Letting go versus control. Talk to me.
Does that still apply with my new character?
Oh, what is your character's inner conflict?
Oh,
I guess I have to make a new one, don't I?
Yes, you do. which means I'll let you think on that while I go over to Roland. Simon, ambition versus greed.
Yeah. Have I sacrificed anything important? Yes. Or ambition.
What? Tell me. What do you sacrifice?
Well, my eye to begin with.
That is fair. Yes, absolutely.
And I feel like, to borrow from vampire vocabulary.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gotten a few stains on his on his soul.
Yeah.
For what he did.
I think so too.
I don't think I've hurt or pushed away anyone important to me for either ambition or greed.
Okay. I
went against my conscience for ambition.
Yes, I think you did.
That certainly.
Yeah.
Did it destroy my chance of pursuing the other? I don't think so, because I think at the point I am, that Roland is in this, high society, the line between both of them is very thin and very blurred.
Well, I will note that becoming a soldier means you don't get as much money, right? So like there's a way in which certain...
But he's also now, through that, became Lord High Sheriff.
Yes, yes. Now, of course, one of the problems with being a noble is that you're not supposed to ever work, and getting paid is considered beneath you. You should just have money. So it kind of, which is why it was really bad for nobles who didn't have money, and why they had to marry like rich American heiresses, because they weren't really allowed to work. It was awkward. It's awkward. Ooh. All right. Okay. Does Emma have a new inner conflict?
She does.
Talk to us.
Prestige versus humanity. There might be a better word for that, but it's a conflict of being the best, exemplifying, showing everyone that you have what it takes, versus like remembering to be human, to like that you can't just walk over people, you can't use people as tools, and you have to be an actual person.
Yes. Ooh, yes. I feel like maybe humility could be that second term.
Humility might work. A modest or low view of one's importance, humbleness. Yeah, I think that would work.
And the first would be something. Prestige versus humility.
Yeah, either prestige or renown. One of those two.
Yeah, I think both of those are pretty good. Yes, prestige versus humility, I think is a good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Good.
And so we have our last thing to end this cycle, 1831, and that is our epistolary. Yes, indeed. Would any of you like to go first? You get 2 turns. Write a letter, write a journal entry, describe a dream or nightmare, or have a weather interlude.
I would like to go first, if that's okay.
Please. Absolutely. Because you could always let me go.
No.
All right, go ahead. I'm just saying you could.
So this is a weather interlude, or weather, interlude. Yeah. It is a bright, sunshiny day in the middle of a hot summer. We are in a newly developing section of Cambridge, I think.
Yeah.
Harvard. Yeah.
Cambridge.
Cambridge. And you see a large section of land that has this new massive building being constructed on it. It looks nearly complete, not quite, but there's still some stuff to do, but they're already starting to do finishing touches. You see there's this massive wooden front door with a stained glass window in it. The 2 side lights on the side of the door, also this gorgeous Tiffany glass stained kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It's opulent, but not in a garish way,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Well, that's because you have Tiffany glass. I mean, please.
Yeah. And if you were to open the door, you would see in the like a massive foyer, there's like a like a like a like a work table, I guess is just, and there are blueprints like spread out all across it, and you see a young 25-year-old man poring over these blueprints with a middle-aged Hattie / Victoria poring over those blueprints with him. And they're currently discussing like one of the boys' bedrooms whenever they come home from college, kind of thing, and they're arguing over like what kind of spaces that Oscar would need versus what Samuel needs, kinds of thing. And you can hear like birds chittering outside, and it's just a bright, sunshiny day. It's a little hot in the house, but it's the middle of summer, so you know that's the way it is. And yeah, that's the scene. Oh, one more thing is, you see, if you were to like go up the grand, you know how like stairs, you've got like, it's like a grand staircase where it just kind of sweeps up and curls around kind of thing.
Yeah.
You see sliding down one of the banisters is little Charlotte with like, she kind of looks like one of those Polly Pocket dolls where she's got like crazy curly blonde hair and she's tiny, and she's just like sliding down the banister, and Victoria just kind of looks over and she's like, just don't hurt yourself, darling, and then lets her kind of run off and go. And that's my first episode scene.
Life right now so much. Does someone else have their first letter or diary or nightmare or dream?
I got
weather
one.
interlude.
Emma has a weather interlude.
Yes.
A storm.
Yes.
Thunder crashing in the background, the waves rocking violently as a ship is sailing, coming into port in only a few hours, but is fighting a storm to get there. Ropes tattering in the wind, being ripped from the planks of which they were tied, sails being tossed to and fro as the gales thrash at the very fabrics, starting to rip them apart. Yells carry across the wet planks as sailors run back and forth trying to control this wild beast in this raging storm. And there's just a quick series of thumping footsteps as dashing out from the underside is a young Emma Lee, instantly rain soaked, but grabbing onto ropes, lashing, having forgotten her like humbler origins, when this is mostly she did odds and ends just to stay alive. Whatever kind of political or sex issues, because she's a woman, kind of just get thrown to the wayside because it's an emergency and they need all the help they can get. If someone knows what they're doing, even better.
Yes.
And there's this look of determination on her face, and as the storm is settling and they're finally getting the ship kind of under some sort of control, this is very much at the tail end of a kind of resolve that's Emma has made to herself. She has been that quiet, demure, listen to your betters, be patient. If you wait long enough, you'll get what's due to you. But she's done waiting. She waited a while, and now because she didn't act, there are a lot of things that she can't do anymore. There are things that are too late. So she has an opportunity. She's going to seize it no matter what anyone tells her. And this storm signifies that like determination that she's entering Barton Mills with.
Does anyone else have their first? Because you know I do.
I have one.
Please.
I
like how Nugget knows it's not going to be good. I like that. I like it. Go ahead.
No, actually, it's really not so bad. I think it'll take place. So it's the weather interlude, and it will take place on an overcast morning. a few days. Where was the not the crowning ceremony, Jesus, the swearing in ceremony for the Lord High Sheriff? Northumberland, you said?
Yeah, you probably would have been in Newcastle.
Newcastle, okay. So it's before we leave for Newcastle. And it's just Roland in his study. And he's bundling together all of the correspondence he ever received pertaining to any illicit shit he's done over the years. And that includes some of the, like, I guess you could call them bonds, maybe, that he found in the treasure chest. Well, in the treasure chest, and the wasn't necessarily a treasure chest, but yeah,
it was like one.
It was like one, and I mean, they're for like a sizable amount, like 50 pounds or whatever, and he's just tying them all together with a string. He makes sure he has them all in one little brick of paper. And then chucks it into the fireplace.
I would like to offer you resolve.
I knew you would.
Yeah, of course,
I knew you
of
were
course
going
you would.
to.
Yes, I would like someone to get all of that paperwork. You think it's all burned, but I want somebody to be able to recover it.
You
and
have
save it and
so
still
many
have it.
resolve tokens. I don't think you need any.
Just asking.
I it's true that I have a lot of resolve tokens.
It's true.
I don't know, given how late we are in the game.
You can always say no. I'm just offering.
No, I'm just thinking it's because I see too many similarities to what happened with Anselm at the jail cell.
Fair.
So I think in this instance I would say no.
Perfect. I just have to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe that leaves Violet for your first, or I can go.
How about you go?
Sure. I'm gonna write a letter.
Figured you would.
And I don't know why Nugget is shaking her head. So a letter arrives at Victoria Astor and her husband. What is her husband's name?
I think he just kept Leslie, so it's Leslie Astor now.
So Leslie and Victoria Astor, they get a letter at their home.
Yeah. What does it say?
Would you like to open it?
I guess.
Nice. It's from your son.
Oh.
Not the one that I control. You know, Oscar.
Oscar.
It's from him. He's at school. He's at university, you know. That's what you thought, at least.
Yep.
Mother, I know that in England there is an estate that belongs to me, and I'm going to claim it. I know that you've said that we should never show our face, but that is an entire legacy that, well, Samuel has everything, and he has everything here in America, and I need to create my own life. I'm going back there, and I'm going to take that estate back. I will be Lord Altrincham.
Fuck.
Just say he has a different mama. It's fine.
And that is the letter from your son. Don't try to stop me. I've already left by the time you read this letter.
Yep. Oscar, all right.
Hey, I'm just saying that he's the younger one of the twins, you know?
He is. He's the younger one. He's the one who is always more sickly. He's the one who's got shit to prove.
Yep. The one who broke his leg, you know, just saying that he's the one. He's like, okay, there's a whole title of I'm taking it.
That's mine. I'm gonna take it. Yeah.
Yep. Lindy.
Oh boy.
Letter, diary entry, letter interlude, or dream or nightmare.
I think it's gonna be a nightmare.
Do it.
So everything's great, you know.
Mhm.
Husband's high sheriff. We've got a young lad, a very young, lass.
Mhm.
But having this dream,
Mm.
and in this dream, it's a normal day, a typical day, except, um, Justinian's a little older,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Mother, I have wonderful news." It's like, "Oh, what is it, Justinian?" He's like, "I'm going to be marrying Heather Gills," and it's just the worst because Heather takes a lot after her father, um,
She kills people for sport.
in attitude. Well, but she could if she might would if she could. It's harder for women to participate in the hunts
Yes.
as much. And she's not Lord High Sheriff, but I don't know if she's as murder happy, but she's definitely elitist. Let's say, and then there's an argument of like, "No, you will not," and then he's like, "But we're so in love." I'm like, "She just wants you to think you're in love. She's a manipulator like her father was." And it's a big argument. It gets blown out of proportion, and then he elopes with her. The whole
Yeah.
thing, it's a big nightmare. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Everyone gets their second.
I'm writing a letter.
Do it. Do it.
Dear Violet. Please don't be alarmed, but if you see Oscar in the malls, please help. Just
Please
it's
help.
like this is
I'm
not
here
one
for
of her
this.
normal composed letters. She's kind of freaking out for her son's safety kind of thing. He's heading back to the malls apparently to claim his father's our estate. I don't know what the situation is over there right now concerning certain things. But if you could just keep an eye for him, that would be much appreciated. We are on our way, so just be forewarned. Look forward to seeing you soon. Love, Hattie.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
And that's it.
Mhm.
That's her letter. Just a panic written, holy shit, my son's possibly in danger. I'm on my way. Keep an eye out for him.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Who's next?
I'll write a letter
Please.
to Leo Way.
Mhm.
Dearest Uncle Leo, by the time you've read this, I will have arrived in Barn Mills to see our my distant cousin, Charles Way. I have heard many stories of this scoundrel, his drinking, his cavorting, his untimely presence in our family. But I would rather witness these things for myself before besting him. I hope by the time you arrive, you will see my efforts, my progress, and make the correct decision for our family. Fear not, Uncle. I have prepared for this day, and while I may be reliant on Charles for my stay here, I intend to take no quarter when challenging him in the future. Nor do I plan on relaxing my efforts. Swordplay, gunplay, reading, writing, history, sciences, I will maintain my studies and my discipline. You will see, Uncle. I will make you see.
Mhm. 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 Who's next?
I would like
Mhm.
to have just a vignette,
Please.
because I know most vignettes are silent for the most part. It's just narrative description, but I might have like one or two lines of dialogue.
It's like
Sure.
a weather interlude.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just the weather doesn't play anything in it. I mean, I guess it could be like a normal day.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's his first day as Lord High Sheriff.
Mm.
Roland gets up bright and early, dresses up in his fanciest clothes. He's got a confused expression on his face the whole time. And he gets dressed, and like one of the like servants that we have like helps him get dressed properly and everything. And then he goes down to the dining room, has a meal, and then walks all the way up to the front door of the estate. And that's where Violet would find him, standing at the door, just looking at the door, not moving. And he just turns around when he hears Violet. And he goes, "What am I even supposed to do? I mean, where do I work? What do I do?"
Like you wait for a problem to come up and then you deal with it.
Do you mean to say I got all the rest for nothing? Oh well. Back to bed it is. And, and that's his first day as Lord High Sheriff. Things are gonna go fine.
Because you're not like ground level sheriff, you know. You're not doing
Well,
the yeah.
but it's been a decade and he's still not used to like this whole like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've been given a title that should come with actual work, but it's just
Yeah.
bullshit to fluff old people's ego.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone else have one? Because I do.
Ooh.
I have an idea of one, but I'll let you go
Mm.
first.
Really? You think that's a good idea?
Well, you either go first or you go last. I don't think I'd be surprised if yours affected mine very much.
Cool.
And if I'm surprised, so be it.
It's October 1831. You know, there are, how do I put this? So the United Kingdom is a country that is not a democracy, really. You know what I mean? Has a monarchy, as it were. And it also has two different houses, the House of Commons and the House of Lords. The House of Lords is made up of hereditary peers. So you just have to be a rich noble and you get to be in there. And then you get to have all this power. And then like your children do. Some people found that somewhat upsetting. And there has been a lot of push to reform this system to make it more fair. There are a lot of abuses that happen in this system. You know?
What?
Yeah.
I never.
And there's, and the way that the system works involves cities not really having really good representation, but like a lot of representation for places like Barden Mill and places that are full of like very
What?
Yes. Also, a bunch of people don't have the right to vote, like small landowners and shopkeepers. Lots and lots of really people who aren't really rich don't get to vote. And there are all these abuses about how you make these districts. And there's been a lot of pushing to pass a reform bill to make this better. There's also a lot of pushes to make women be allowed to be able to vote. So there have been some pushes that maybe women should be allowed to vote. There is some people who have been sort of making arguments about the fact that perhaps women should be allowed to vote. In 1825, so just a couple of years ago, William Thompson and Anna Wheeler wrote on the appeal of one half of the human race, women, against the pretensions of the other half, men, to retain them in political and thence in civil and domestic slavery, in reply to Mr. Mill's celebrated article on government. In which James Mill had stated, all those individuals whose interests are indisputably included in those of other individuals may be struck off without any inconvenience. In this light, also women may be regarded, the interests of almost all of whom are involved in that of their fathers or in that of their husbands. So they don't really need to be able to vote because their fathers or husbands will just vote on their behalf. So there's been a lot of discussion and push to try to reform this bill. And last year, King George IV died, and there was a whole big sort of, that whole was resolved. Everything's sort of up in the air. And they really tried really hard to get this reform bill passed, and it did not pass. And right now, here in 1831, a lot of pressure to reform happens. And guess what? All of the reformers, they win all these, they get so many votes, but it doesn't really work out for them, as it turns out. And somehow, after a little bit of perhaps questionable corruption, the second reform bill does not pass. And then do you know what happens? Riots. Large sections of Bristol, for example, start burning. And in this interlude, you can imagine fires throughout all of these cities as the people riot because they really would like to be able to vote. And you know what happens when people are rioting? You need to call up the forces. And so a letter arrives to the Lord High Sheriff that he must now, as is his duty, round up people who are men who are of good age and take those people off with you to put down the riots of people who want reform. And that is the letter that arrives for you as there is storm and fire across the country. Our good Lord Brazelton must put down those who wish for inappropriate sorts of reform. And that sort of lands at your home as the cities burn across the country.
It'll be fine.
Who's next?
I'll go. I have a weather interlude. It is. Let's just say overcast for the theme of it, but it's kind of like lightly overcast. Like it's like daytime / overcast. You see Jennifer. It's kind of like a montage vignette weather interlude. And she spends about half her time at the Brazelton estate, about half her time at the old Chumley estate, now the Way estate. And she's been busy. She's still not married. Little scandalous at her age, but she's been busy. She thought reform was a good idea, and all these things are happening, and she's writing letters to people. Sending some notes. Doing some things on the DL, on the down low.
Interesting. That seems ominous.
Yeah, a little bit maybe.
Lovely.
Who
else?
Who else has to go?
I did my 2.
Yeah, done my 2. Everyone's done.
Oh, okay. Gosh, I suppose we're done. Oh, wait. It's a little diary entry from Oscar.
You've already had 2, Trooper. Are you breaking the rules?
I'm the facilitator. I've got multiple people.
Rule breaker.
And
That's
just
it.
says-
It's chaos.
You had 2 chances. You
Just
done
says-
spent up.
Oh, and he just says, I have my mother and father will be so proud, and I will show my brother I'm going to make a deal that will transform all of Barden Mill and perhaps all of the North and make my name. It's already underway. Yes.
Nate, that could
And
have been
so-
one of your 2 letters, but you did other things. I don't.
Oh no, that happened. We
That
will.
Oscar is wild.
He is. He is. We will begin with our novel phase, the last moment of our cycle, of the last moment of our game. After a break, however.
All right. Everybody, stand up, stretch your legs, get your beverages, refreshments, all that good stuff. And
Some people want to be able to vote. That's wild. I know.
I'd say stand up for your rights, but then I'm about to put them all down. So don't.
Yeah.
Just stay-
Stand up for your rights.
just-
He'll just have to shoot you.
yeah,
just-
unless
yeah,
it's to
just-
party,
just-
then maybe.
Mhm.
But no, let's
it
fight for your
depends.
right to party. So it's different.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, just sit down, take a seat, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
To be Robin Hood.
And we're back
Me too.
with Sammy's roast beef Sammy's and
I'm gonna
snacks
eat
and
my
drinks
food later.
and refreshments. And
Mhm.
yeah, we're back. Hi, hello. Hope everyone had a
Hi,
good break.
everybody. Hi. Can I ask everyone a question?
Yes.
Thank you. I have
Sure.
questions to ask everyone before we enter into our final.
Countdown.
Questions for everyone. Each one of you. I have a question. I would like to start with Roland. Roland, we know that you're going to be sort of called up to put down some people who want rights. And England's in a very stressful place right now. You want to know why? Besides all the riots. Because just last year, there was a revolution in France. And
One of the many.
one of the many, and King Charles X was deposed.
Mhm.
So the French Revolution of 1830. Did you have anyone that you knew who was? How was your family, your friends? How were they impacted by that?
I think so. The people that I've kept in touch with,
Yeah.
that Roland kept in touch with, they will fare better once the chaos ends because they were part of the working class.
Yeah.
They were. Shit. Was this one the sans culotte one?
I think that might have been earlier. Yes. Yes. No.
Give me a sec.
Kicking it off.
No, that was 1789.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're talking about was it the second? There's just so many of them. 1830, the three. Oh yeah, it's the one with the lady with the flag.
Yes.
Yes.
Big deal.
And dime store Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. So I want to know, especially
It's
since-
that revolution reestablished the monarchy though.
well, kicked it, got rid of one, got a new one, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the monarchy was there and he tried to hijack the government
Mhm.
and people, okay, but it's not the one where they took the Bastille. There's just so many.
And this is like the return of the Bourbon dynasty. And I just want to know, how do you feel about all this revolution when you're up here basically being counter-revolutionary? But all of your friends and family and the people that you care about back in France are dealing with this in a, different way.
He's thinking that he's on the wrong side.
How's that making him feel?
Oh, like shit. But he's thinking it makes him feel like shit, but it doesn't make him feel hopeless
Hmm.
or without any recourse. He's
Yeah.
going to use what, like, this sinking feeling of almost self-hatred,
Yeah.
to hopefully turn things around in Great Britain. He doesn't know if that's going to happen.
That seems like a way to justify the fact that you're going to be killing a lot of people.
No, he's going to try to avoid killing a lot of people.
Okay. All right.
That's what he's thinking of. Like,
Okay.
there's got to be a way to make them understand that, like, they have valid concerns,
Yeah.
but they're not doing things the right way.
I think that's fair. Although, just please know, everybody's really afraid of revolution in England right now. So, like, the reactionaries are pretty rough.
Oh yeah. But he doesn't have any. He doesn't have a lot of experience in
Yes.
understanding the broader strokes of what's
Yes.
happening.
Yes. Let me then ask the question of Hattie. It's 1831, United States. You're in Cambridge. And something that you might know about Cambridge is that it was a hotbed of abolitionism and the rising suffrage movement. How is Hattie feeling about all of this business right now?
Hattie's probably in the thick of it,
Hmm,
especially with the suffragist movement.
mhm.
Absolutely. Definitely thinks it's a good idea. Worth the
It's
risk.
wild. It's wild right there. Sometimes it got a little violent. Were you violent?
I don't think Hattie ever
Just people were
was.
marching, and then
Yeah.
sometimes fights.
Yeah, because and I think she wasn't ever violent because of her experience with the riots back
Yes.
when Leslie was a
Yes.
part of them. So she was probably the person off to the side taking care of people who were injured.
Yeah. All right. Because we're getting all sorts of that. Let me ask Violet a question.
Mhm.
You are in a country that is in upheaval,
Mhm.
and you are the countess of this place.
Mhm.
It is your job, it is your duty to keep your system working
Mhm.
for your daughter,
Mhm.
for your family. They beheaded people who were nobles over there in France.
Mhm.
If these things get out of hand, how do you feel about your husband's tossing and turning and the situation that you're in? He's not of noble birth.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about all of this?
Well, you see, it's a little complicated.
Tell me more.
Oh, yeah. She feels she knows her husband's not noble, and therefore actually probably has a better line on how the people are feeling, and she respects that about him. It's very good insight to have. Perhaps more nobility should have this insight. It's also one of the reasons she wants her son to not marry Heather Gills, but instead to go back with Victoria to the States, so that way he can get out of the system.
But you're not getting out.
No.
It doesn't seem like you're gonna have your daughter get out of the system. Seems kind of convenient that the person you have get out of the system is the one that's not gonna have to be responsible in the first place. That seems a little hypocritical, huh? What's going on there?
Isn't the British nobility always?
I just want to know how she's justifying this in her mind.
I don't think that hypocritical thought has occurred to her. She's like, well, I can get one of them out.
Interesting.
A lot of people can't get any of them out, but if she can get Justinian out, that's and in America, where he can work hard under the tutelage of Hattie, she really respects Hattie, Victoria, and yeah, and who knows how things will go in England? Maybe reform will go through.
Perhaps.
I mean, everyone's terrified of it, but it happened in France. It could happen here, and I think rather than ponder how to squash it, she's pondering what would she do if reforms did if revolution did happen.
Ooh. What is she thinking?
That's what she's trying to figure out.
Hmm.
Have to talk with her husband about it because he knows the common people better.
Well, I mean, I imagine you would just round up some soldiers and just shoot the people of Barden's Mill. So they couldn't burn your home, right?
I mean, that would be not having a home burnt would be nice, but the people of
Yeah.
Barden's Mill have endured a lot between the ship sinking and
Well, but that wasn't nobles who did that.
it kind of was though. Um, so
But, you do take care of them.
she does want the people of Barden's Mill to be happy. There's this one guy,
Yeah.
Tomothy, who just looks like the happiest guy on earth whenever she sees him. And, she just wants Barden Mill to be a happy place for them to live.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you, as a noble, you take care of that, right? You keep everything stable.
I try, but that doesn't
Yeah.
mean that other nobles aren't trying in their parts of the country.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, of course.
It's
I mean,
it's a complicated, stressful
Sure.
situation. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Emma, I have a question for you. Right now in China, the British keep trying to flood your country with opium and take over. They keep trying to invade your country and do sketchy things with
What?
trade, trying to use trade to manipulate and undermine the Qing dynasty. And you are now going to this place that is full of that has sent a lot of ships with guns based with the East India Trade Company to sort of mess with your country. They want to take Hong Kong. I want to know, how does Emma feel about coming to this place where there is a lot of tension, especially trade tension?
It's like she's watching a sports match. She's aware of the problem. She's aware of the factors, but they're not her problems and her factors. She's concerned about getting to a point, getting enough power, enough connections in order for those to be problems. And that's why she's studied up on it. And that's why she's been aware of them. But right now, that's a second degree of priority. She has other things she needs to focus on.
What did people back home tell you about the British?
It depends on who you talk to. They're nice enough folks. They're all thieving, conniving grifters. They're here to take what's ours. They're a great opportunity if you know how to work with them. Like any sort of a general impression of a country and people. It just varies based on who you're talking to.
Now, throughout this time right now, your government is really trying to stop opium from coming into the country. But the British are just bringing in opium by this year, 20,000 chests of opium are going to be imported into China. When in 1800, between 1800 and 1818, it was between about 4,000 chests are brought in. And the emperor is trying to stop all these drugs being brought in by the British and also now the Americans. Very exciting. And they're just, people are suffering, right? As this is being brought in all through ships and trade, of which there's quite a bit in this area. We'll just see how we think about that. And as we all come together in this moment, I believe we're going to have an event, small event for you all to attend. Something very interesting. An event Lord Altrincham Lord Oscar Altringham has been working, and he is inviting you all to an event, including his mother and father and the rest of them. He wants everyone to see what he has helped accomplish.
No.
Are you
Violet
ready
has
for this?
concerns. No.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not.
A railway station. There is a new thing, steam rails, and he has been working to carve a big, thick line through the countryside and help bring steam engines to the north so that you can then mine more coal and oil and bring more goods. And there is going to be a train. It's very exciting. I bet you've ever seen one of these before. A train is going to come through this area. And so
I've
he's
been to
invited.
London. I've seen trains.
Oh, they're very new at this point in time. They're very, very new. This is the time where robber barons are going to be a thing, and they're just going to go and like spew coal everywhere.
Mhm.
It's a good thing we're a
Yes.
mining town, ain't it?
Oh, yes, it is. And so
Let's
he's
just
invited you
enjoy
all-
one last bit of clean air.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so he's invited you all to see the arrival of a big train into this brand
God damn
new because they've just basically finished this big new train line in which he's spent he has contacts, and he is now going to be part of this new future of England. He's invited you all to be there. And I'm going to ask you, as you're at this sort of brand new sort of rail station, and a number of people are here,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like ribbons, and it's all this big like track that is cut through many people's like it used to be such a beautiful space, right? You know, in certain ways, and it's like this big like iron, these metal ties with like wood. This whole thing has been like built through, and there's been doing this construction quite some time. And there are people in fancy hats. There is sort of wine, and there is like a nice buttercup wine, and everyone's about. And Oscar's not there yet. I suppose he's waiting for the big reveal. It's unclear.
I'm keeping an eye out for people with red handkerchiefs just in case.
And let me ask you all. I mean, revolutionaries would hate more nobles. What you all are there? I leave this to you.
I mean, they're unveiling a train. It's a massive.
It's not here yet, but
It's
it will
gonna
arrive.
chug a choo choo. It's
Yeah,
what it
Yeah,
is.
no, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want to be there.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mhm.
Emma will be there. This is quite the opportunity.
I have concerns about Oscar's parentage, but good on him for the train. That could be very lucrative for the area.
Mhm.
Hattie, Leslie,
Definitely Hattie's kid.
Sam. Yeah. Definitely my child. Definitely has the head for business. Samuel and Charlotte are both here with Leslie and Hattie as well. We all came, kind of thing. And we would probably find the Brastletons
Mm-hmm.
pretty much right away.
Yep. Yeah, Justinian and Iris are here.
Who else is here?
Oh, Jennifer, but she probably has a different hat on right now.
Charles and
Mhm.
Reka, probably.
Mhm. Charles and Reka. How nice is this? This seems very nice. And I imagine there are a lot of miners with like loads of coal to show how useful
Oh,
this is going
yes,
to be.
not underage people. Yeah.
No, no,
just
no, no, no,
kids,
no.
Raleigh's miners. No, I know what you meant.
No, yes. Yes. And I imagine there's like a band playing as well. And it is very, I imagine it's a lot of excitement. A lot of excitement. Mm-hmm.
It's very exciting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are you all just waiting quietly?
No, I think you said the Asters would have sought out the Brestletons immediately, so
Please do.
Oh, Victoria! Good to see you.
Lady Brestleton, it's been too long.
Oh, I see you found some of the snacks at the snack tables
Yes.
there.
They're quite good.
Oh, good, wonderful. I saw that they did have some pastries that looked interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think you've met Iris, and I will pull forth little Iris. She's adorable. It's like what, 5 or 6 years old, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And probably like wavy brown hair, cute as a button. She'd probably curtsy because that's what she's.
Yeah,
Little curtsy.
that's what you've been told to.
Mhm.
A pleasure to meet you, Iris. This is my daughter Charlotte. She's not much older than you. Closer to your brother's age, I believe.
Yes, and then Justinian, and who
We introduce them. Absolutely. Become best friends and then get married.
Yes. Yes. Why don't you all go get some pastries?
Shoot the children off.
Send the 3 of them off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll watch over the kids as they go get pastries.
Mhm.
I'll leave you two alone. Hi, Victoria. Nice to see you again
And you,
for the first time.
for the first time ever, Lord Brastleton. It's strange, but all right. Lord Brastleton. Leslie will go with them, with the... So it's just kind of Hattie and
Mhm.
Violet.
But he's definitely your son.
He's definitely my son. I can grant him that. He
Just
definitely
looking
has
at like
head
the
for business.
rail, like the tracks. Yep.
I don't know where he got these ideas from. Well, I do know where he got these ideas from, but I just don't
You're
understand why he had to
Still
do it here.
concerned about the let's say red handkerchief business.
Mildly.
Might not look good upon the Altrincham family, but nothing it couldn't overcome. Perhaps. Well, we could say that Hattie, whoever she was not the mother, and with some other suitable woman. That
Could be. I think if his parentage does come into question, we should probably have a plan in place for that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find someone suitable, preferably dead.
Preferably dead. Yes. 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 Have you seen him since he's been in town? Have you
He's been
spoken with him?
rather elusive and busy.
Yes, it does sound like him. He did like to
Hard one
shy
to
away
track
from
down.
people. Yes, he did. He was quite excellent at hide and seek as a child.
That's how I broke the
All
leg,
right.
wasn't it?
Yes. Brother was supposed to be watching him, and he was hiding up in a tree and fell out, and it was not great. Anyway, how are you? How are things here? I've been reading the papers. Seems like things are a bit
Yes.
unsteady.
It happens about once a decade or so, it seems.
Yes, it does. And I heard that Roland is High Sheriff now. Is he? Are they
Yes.
sending him out?
Yes.
Oh, perhaps he should talk to Leslie. He might have some pointers.
I'm hoping he brings it up while they're at the snack table. with the children.
Yes, hopefully, yes. And I think
She's
we just-
adorable, by the way.
Oh,
Just
so is yours. Just the cutest little button ever. I love them.
yes, I was thinking about sending Justinian back with you as long as they get along well.
He is welcome anytime in our home.
Wonderful.
Just has that kind of like we're not saying it out loud, but we definitely both want the same thing. kind of
They're
thing.
just like yes.
As you two are talking, I'd imagine Emma would approach. Violet, you still live in
Oh yes, same house.
The big estate.
yes,
The biggest estate.
Barton
in town.
Mills. There we go. The name escaped me. So
Yes,
you would
Barton
see
Mills.
Emma. She is dressed quite nicely for the occasion. You also notice that she has like a sword, kind of saber to her side, whether it's just
Oh.
for decoration or for self-defense, or but you've seen her use it. She knows how to use it.
So I've seen her before. It's not the first time meeting.
Yes. Perhaps for a month or two. She's still relatively
Okay.
new in the
Yeah,
area.
yeah, yeah.
Hello,
And I know she's
Miss-
staying with Charles, right?
Yes,
I'm
yes.
like, I'll just
He's
like
her current guardian.
nudge
were.
Victoria. Say, oh, I don't believe you've met. I'm sorry.
Yes.
No,
Hello.
this is me looking at your name on the overlay, going, "You're not Charles Way."
Emily, at your service. So I was just coming over to give my greetings to you, Miss Brazelton, as is
Thank you,
proper. And
this
your
is,
friend here would be
Miss Astor from the Americas.
Miss Astor.
Yes, hello.
I don't think Charles mentioned an Astor. And well, it is pleasant to meet you.
She's just
And you,
visiting
of
in
course.
town for a
Yeah.
short while.
Just visiting. We actually, my family and I live over in the Americas. We emigrated a while ago.
Really? And how's that? How are the Americas treating you?
I quite like it. It's definitely very different than England, but I feel like there are more opportunities to grow over there.
And when you say that, you do notice that Emma takes a bit of
Mental
interest
note.
in that
Yeah.
phrasing. Well, if there's time later and you don't have to depart too quickly, perhaps we can discuss. I believe tea or lunch is the usual manner in doing these things.
Yes, of course. I would love to discuss with you. Absolutely.
Of course.
In her mind, she's like, I need to get to know who the heck this person is that's living with my brother.
And once again, pleasure to meet you again, Miss Brazelton. And Emma excuses herself to go say hello to everyone else in the party that has status. Yes. Oh, and just to kind of behind the scenes explainer, Charles probably told her all about his sister Hattie,
Yeah.
Yes.
which is not the same. It's not connecting to Miss
Nope.
Astor.
Right.
Nope.
Right.
And then, and at this point, Jenny switches hats and is and like not quite mean mugs Emma, but there's definitely a distrusting look.
Does Jenny come say hi?
The distance. Jenny will definitely come say hi to Victoria
Okay. Yeah.
at some point.
If Jenny's keeping an eye on Emma, you would know that Emma seems a little on edge.
Oh, Jenny is keeping mega tabs on Emma. Jenny is super sus. This new person living in her dad's estate. Like, who does she think she is? But Jenny will come over. Oh, Monsieur Astel, it is nice to see you.
And you look fantastic. You've grown quite a bit since the last time I saw you.
I know.
You look fantastic as ever. So what she kind of just like gives her a once over. What hat are we wearing today?
Oh, right now I am Lady Jennifer Brazelton. It is yes, that is the only hat I have on in this party. No, nothing else. Why would I what?
Of course, silly of me to ask, of course.
Hmm.
And then she just,
Yeah.
says hi.
And then she'll
Catches
breeze
up.
on by.
Yeah.
I believe that's probably when you start hearing it. Although maybe you smell it first. Right? The train.
Depends on which way the wind's blowing.
Does depend on which way the wind is blowing. And it is loud. And it is smelly. And it is fast. It's probably going like 20 miles an hour, maybe. Like
My
it is something
gosh.
I know. I know. Nothing can go
Lightning
that fast.
speeds.
Lightning
We
speeds.
should call it lightning rail.
Perhaps. And it's like this thick black
Bullet
plume
train,
of
something
smoke
fast.
just starts, and you can see it. And there's this train coming in, and it is large. It's like a metal beast, and it's carving through peaceful Barden Mill. And as it sort of like rolls in, you can see behind it, there are these train cars full of coal. And there's just these black, thick smokes everywhere. Soot. But it's the most amazing thing many people have ever seen. And standing proud and excited up front, there are a gaggle of like investors, including Lord Oscar Altringham. And they are they move in and people start cheering. And you can hear one of them shout, "All right, show them what you've got." and there's like somebody snapping, and all these people from Barden Mill who work in the mines are like coming in to start load up all of their coal into these empty things, and some of them are 13 and 16
Working
17
age.
working age, right? And they're
Please.
all sort of like loading up from the mines, right? All of these big sort of sets of just like loading it all in there. And you can hear Oscar goes, I am Lord Altringham, Lord Oscar Altringham. You may know me, my family, the Altringham family, my father, Lord Leslie Altringham, who was the Lord High Sheriff and hero of Barnes Mill. And I have returned on an iron horse. And I have invested in Barnes Mill, in the mines, and we will increase productivity. There'll be jobs for everyone, and the profits will go up. We will decrease wages so that there will be a large amount of profit, which we will bring back into the rails. We will make England the most technologically advanced country there's ever been. We were going to go into this 19th century with the most amazing technology, and there will be money to be made for all of those. And I understand that being a noble, one is not imagined to work, but this is the new England, and we shall, all of us here, and by that he's not speaking about the
common
workers.
folk,
No,
yeah.
he's not speaking about them.
Those who he just said he would decrease their wages. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We will have a kind of success that we have not had before, ever dreamed of. I want you to note that I have made over 600% profit in this venture so far, and we will carve through every hill and every dale and every heath and every moor until there are rail tracks everywhere. And we will make this place something amazing. And the men who are on the tracks or on this train car with him all.
Would now be a good time to do the thing, Trooper?
I think that Simon had a thing you wanted to say.
Oh, I'm just paying attention to who here looks disgruntled, aside from Roland.
Oh, yeah. There are a number of disgruntled people here. Many of them are
Violet-
loading up coal.
Yeah, Violet
Yeah.
was like intrigued until he said decreased wages, and she's like, that is not a recipe to a happy Barden Mill. And she looks a
No.
bit disgruntled, which is not what you would want the Countess of the county you're in to look like after your big speech, I imagine. But, Oscar, that's what it is.
But that's
Standing next to
that's
your
great
mother.
for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hattie also looks severely disappointed in her son.
Ooh.
Yes.
Mm,
She has spent the last 20
no.
years
Yep.
working for the people.
Yes, she has. But they're kind of expensive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you
What
can just
people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just lower how much you pay them. And then you can make more rail cars.
No.
And all of these sort of industrialists with cigars are very excited, and there's clapping.
Rail cars are fine. Not decreasing. If you made 600% profit, you can keep people's wages the same, if not better. Like that's. Then you only.
Well,
Oh no, I only have 500% profit. You're still fine. Yeah.
Yeah, as Lord High Sheriff, I'm slowly starting to think that maybe we should tax the rich industrialists. Not the nobles, but I'm fairly certain that the nobles and the people will come together against this new social class.
Perhaps, except that, and I'm going to note, there is some disgruntlement
Mm-hmm.
from the people who are loading things, but you can also hear Faith Jills in the corner being like, a noble working. Oh, and like, you can tell there's a little bit of disgruntlement with the idea of like a
Mm-hmm.
noble having some sort of profession. That seems very inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we don't, you're just supposed to have money. You're not supposed to earn it.
Yeah.
Seems very inappropriate. And so there's a little bit of a some people are very excited. Most of them are not nobles or poor people.
Yeah.
But and the nobles are just mostly scandalized because it's inappropriate to work.
Yeah.
Or have
Violet doesn't
an
look
income.
scandalized. She just looks disappointed. Like she's gonna have words later, but not, at the moment. Uh-huh.
Yes. And
Different
this is this,
reaction.
and he says, and now, as one of the main investors of this new line that will transform all of northern England and bring our coal to the ports left and right, east and west faster and more efficiently. And I will note there are jobs to be working as coal stokers on these trains. And you see some guy just drenched in sweat behind the
Oh.
main sort of car, like just,
Mhm.
And so there will be jobs for the people of Brazelton, the people of Barden Mills. And I will say, I have brought cakes for everyone. And like there is a train car that has like all of this really expensive sort of cake.
Now,
that
when
has
he
been
says he brought cakes for everyone, does he mean for all the nobles and investors and middle class
Yes.
people, or the poor people too?
No.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yes. And it is like he's got some very nice French cakes, and he's got some very expensive cakes from England as well, London part specifically. And he brought in also a couple of cakes from he didn't actually bring them in, but he had them made from the United States, from the Americas. And so there's this like amazing sort of like the car sort of opens and there's this amazing spread of like very nice cakes with like citrus and cream frosting, some chocolate and some marzipan, and a bunch of people are milling about to sort of eat these cakes. And he's shaking people's hands, and he's sort of holding off a little bit to see his parents, but he's so excited. He's sure they're going to be very excited for him and proud.
He's about to be very disappointed and or upset.
Who's around me right? Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna lean over to Hattie and say, Victoria, did you ever tell him why you moved to America? He does know, right?
They know the toned down version of why we moved. Perhaps it's time we had a conversation.
I believe might be good. And that's just it. Just a little lean in. Roland. I think Leslie's by you, Roland, and the kiddos. I don't know who else.
Oh no, I meant other than the kids.
Leslie.
And Leslie. Well, you have
I mean adults.
Yes, because you are the Lord High Sheriff, there are always people around you.
Okay.
And by that I mean in events like this, because you are the husband of the Countess. So you have got Faith Jills has wandered around by you still. You've got the young Rafferty is there, has visited.
Oh
so
no, he's here.
But what about common folk?
Oh, so common folk are at this most time, they're being held outside of the place where people of quality are. They're behind like little barriers. So they're watching because like a lot of the kids are really excited about trains. They're very like, ooh, this is exciting. Like how exciting is this? And of course, there are coming people who are pulling in, right? All of these big mining carts and then loading them in like as the train sort of like moves a little bit. It's very impressive. And he doesn't really want where he's at to move. So they have to go a little bit farther down each time to bring into the empty carts. And you've got a number of people who are like the core villagers of Barden Mill. They're not the ones who are like, tavern folk and farmers. They're also sort of stuck on the outside of this space, watching. You will notice that some people are missing. There are a number of men of the town who are not present at the moment. The ones who have to be here are clearly here because they're working, but there's perhaps a little bit of a lack of some of the men of the town.
Okay.
Especially the younger ones, like in their early 20s. A number of them are missing. We're not minors, of course.
We're missing men in their early 20s.
I'm sure I'm sure they're doing something.
I don't enjoy that too much. I'm gonna keep an eye out, but just as a jest, Roland is going to lean over to the person next to him, the person of peerage next to him, and just go, I remember what happened last time that someone proposed that people eat cake.
No.
Oh.
Yes, and he goes, yes, I'm quite concerned myself. After all, this sort of thing might threaten all of our hunting grounds. If we have train tracks everywhere, how are we going to do the fox hunts? I don't think I like this at all.
I don't think that these industrial people are interested in hunting.
Well, these are our grounds. All the land belongs to us. The
All the land
aristocracy.
belongs to the king.
Well, yes, but of course he grants it to us down. Of course.
But what if?
Your
if the-
Lord High Sheriff? I'm making no disrespect to the king.
No, none taken. I just meant if someone like him can get the ears of the king, we're to take an expression from the common folk, we're proper fucked.
And who is it? What happened to the rest of the Altringhams? Oh, and he sort of waves to Leslie. Oh, Leslie, it's good to see you. Because many people know you all.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's risky
Mm-hmm.
and brief.
Is that Lady Altringham? Oh, so nice to see you all here. And there's a lady who's sort of like Faith. She pulls out her handkerchief, which got perfume because it's a terrible smell, and she doesn't, yes. And they sort of look about, and they're like, "Where's Excuse me." Somebody goes, "Where is Have you seen?" And they're looking about. I'm like, "No. Have you seen Edmund son? Have you seen him?
Shit, who was he again?
The younger Lord Gilles?
No, we don't know who Edmund Gill's son is. He's new.
He has a son. He's got one. Because of course he has to have one.
Well, he didn't necessarily. That depended on
He would have to have one. He would have to get one if he didn't have one.
He would have to get one. Yeah, that's fair.
Have you
died.
seen him? You should.
No,
be
I
here.
haven't.
Oh. Well, I wonders what he's doing. He should be here after all. Strange. Well, I would say at this moment, one of the train cars with the coal mining carts, right? Sort of tips over because there's, this is hard. This place is not so full. And as it tips over, there's a hand in the coal.
Because they've been digging in the mines.
They have been digging in the mines.
You mean there's a hand sticking out of the coal, or there's
Yes.
a disembodied hand in the coal? Not the disembodied
Skeletal
hand, but
or like fleshy?
yeah,
Fleshy,
Okay.
rotting or not.
not looking great.
I mean, immediately I'm going to ask for like able-bodied people around me to go and help.
Well, the nobles won't. That would be.
Leslie
Dirty.
will.
Emma will.
All right.
Jenny will. Mostly because Jenny wants to see who been dug up.
It's Lord Edmund Gill's son. He's been murdered.
Oh,
shit.
no, says Jenny. Not that she did it,
Tragic.
but she wouldn't be upset at the same time.
I imagine Heather's not happy about it.
I imagine not. No.
Yeah. And I think there's a bit of a hullabaloo.
Jenny
Like,
is like, oh, she pretends to be a little faint from it all and excuses herself to go back to the Brazelton estate.
Lord High Sheriff, you've got to do something about this.
if no one's following me, I'm just gonna cry out one more thing before heading there immediately, and it's Lord Edmund Jill's son. For God's sake, man, come on.
And I think with some reluctance, a number of the miners come to help dig the body out of the cart.
Miners are common folk, though, right?
Yes, they are.
I promised them a week's wage for their help.
They work a lot quicker. But you notice it's mostly older miners. Again, the younger miners are not there so much.
Mm-hmm.
Did they all rebel and just gank Lord Edmund Gills in the mine? I mean,
Shank them in the mines.
oh
Perhaps the
no,
mine
we're all
collapse.
so upset.
How does Oscar
So sad.
look? What's Oscar's reaction?
Oscar looks, he's sort of shocked by this, like, oh, like, what is that? He doesn't move because none of his other investor friends go to move towards this space. And he's like, everyone, it's the Lord High Chef will take care of this, and we'll this won't ruin our celebration. Success will come to Barden Mills.
Would now be a proper time to
Perhaps. Yes.
Okay. I pull out my sword. And I do that thing where you like point it threateningly at the person as I call out pretender.
What? And his voice cracks a little.
Oh,
Oh no, that's
buddy.
good. Effectively, Emma, as stoically as she can, trying to sum up all the experiences, all her prep that she's done. Just to clarify, is there any proof that he is in Altringham? Or did he just kind of show up and say he was?
He just kind of showed up.
Okay.
No one's seen him for 10 years. He doesn't really look like he did in the past. I mean, he just
Then-
said he was.
Yeah, I'm going with this play. Emma will call out to Oscar, Pretender,
What do you mean?
you are no Altringham.
And I'm going to note just technically, I don't know what Emma knows or doesn't know. He's also not the oldest son. I'm
Oh,
just going to note that one.
I don't know that. All my proof is that he
Yes.
doesn't have a proper
Yeah.
claim. You have no proper claim to this family, this home, and this line.
And also, the Altringham estate has basically been abandoned for 10 years. So,
The Altringham estate has been abandoned for near a decade. I am the proper corresponding, not heir, but dependent of Charles Way, brother of the last known matriarch of the Altringham estate. As such, according to the ancient laws of Barnville, it is my right to take up the family in their stead.
Technically, Charles
Do
Way
you
is
submit
of the
now?
Castleton estate.
Oh.
yes, but the public has not really, they kind of kept
No.
that line
Yeah.
through.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, that's a bunch of scandal you don't really want to just get out there.
Yeah.
But yeah. But if we have to
Not legally.
save some, yeah.
Emma finishes with, do you submit now? Do you
I'm
duel me for it?
What?
Or do we wait till we find more bodies in the mines?
Did
And I like to
you-
use that rumor
Oh,
to
Oh.
turn the public against him and on my side.
Leave
Oh.
my son alone.
What?
yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Gonna make a grab for power.
Yes. I will say with that one, he'll say, well, I didn't kill anyone in the mines. I didn't do it. And you can hear like a, use that. I'll take that. That a disgruntlement from miners and the people.
Doesn't
You
matter
know?
if it's your fault or not. You're the one whose big project this is, and anyone who turns up dead is going to be blamed on you. And I know there's bodies in the mines in the back of my head. Not as Emma, but
Yes.
it's a good threat and because
Mhm.
that's
And he
what
goes-
she's guessing.
And now you're pulling out sort of matrilineal succession here from Barden Mill. So he's a little bit sort of confused and like now having like his mom be the heir now she's missing. So now, and so he's like, you can see that he was not prepared for this because he figured it was just empty. He just gets to walk in and take it.
Mhm.
And he doesn't know what to do. And it's embarrassing him in front of all the investors who are like, oh, what is this? What's this about? And he's like, but I'm the Lord Altringham. I'm the Lord Altringham here. And I have made thousands of guineas, which I was going to have a ball and invite everyone. Who are you?
Who are you?
My name is Emily. I'm a relation of Charles Way.
And do you have proof of this? From what I hear, you've only been here about a month, as has Lord
Cousin
Offringham.
Charles! Am I your cousin? And Charles is in the audience.
I bet Charles feels real uncomfy right about now.
Yeah, because he
knows exactly who Oscar is. Yeah.
I spoke out. He knows I'm here.
Yeah, I know. So
And
this
you
is
hear-
interesting. Yeah.
I imagine you hear somebody, one of the peasants, being like, "Why? You know what? She does live there. I've seen her. She lives there in that estate. That's true.
Chased me out with a sword she did once. A sword.
He
You
just
believe
looks
that?
like Charles. That's right.
Does
Ooh.
that make us racist? Because, you know, they're
Oh, I don't know. Does it? Well, but
I don't
she
know.
said that she was a cousin. Should we not
You
believe
go-
her?
need to go to more sensitivity training classes we does.
Oh, I suppose we do. But I don't know, though. She seems that I bet they're all right murderers. You know what they said about Lord Edmund Chills and everything.
Oh, yeah, I did. We'll talk more at the bar later. We will.
And there's this whole kind of like disgruntlement right now that's turning against Oscar and towards Emma.
I would like to use my steadfast tag.
Oh, real quick before that, just a detail for Charles. I think he would not answer, but because he hesitates and doesn't say yes or no,
Yeah.
that just throws even more confusion in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how Charles is acting.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's my son.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna let me stab him in front of
No,
everyone?
I'm not gonna let you stab my child.
You're not gonna let him die
No.
like a
don't-
on his own
I don't
like an
know if-
adult?
I don't know
No.
if Jenny would let that happen.
Oh yeah,
Uh.
Jenny. I don't know. Yeah. I would like to use my
Jenny's not
steadfast
above poison.
tag. No, she's not. I'd like to use my steadfast tag to essentially go up and explain this. You seem to be a little misguided.
If only we'd introduced you as
Yeah.
Altringham.
Yeah, and she's saying this not out loud, not like
Loud,
so
just
loud, just to Emma. My true name is Harriet Sedgwick, married to Lord Leslie Altringham. That is
And
my
like
son.
Leslie's got a mustache. He's incognito.
Yes.
You know, that's just a mustache.
and like a top
It looks
hat.
yeah.
just
absolutely,
like
yeah.
his portrait, but with
Yes.
like a hat and a mustache. Yes.
Are you saying this quietly to Emma, like so no one
Just-
else hears, or
Yeah, not
Okay.
she's not whispering, but she's also not projecting it, kind of thing.
Because you would know the name Harriet Sedgwick and Harriet
Yes.
Altringham because
Yes.
that
Yeah.
Charles did tell you all
Right.
about that. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
more, or actually, I think what she would know is like, no, Leslie Altringham is married to Hattie Sedgwick. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
It's a nickname, darling. Yes.
Well, he didn't say.
It-
Wait,
Charles
so
has never been great with the details.
wait, so you're his, which makes
Yes.
you.
Yes.
She's still holding the sword, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But perhaps
you-
we could go back to the estate and discuss this in a little bit more private areas.
She, like a beautiful plan, just comes crashing down.
Oh.
She just sheathes her sword and like huffs off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Before that
Um,
happens, please get rid of your steadfast tag.
Yes.
And so you use your familial guidance.
Yes.
I will be taking your disrespectful tag.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh,
As people, the people, the miners, the people,
Mm-hmm.
they don't hear what you're saying, but they see you come in and do something that clearly upsets this young Emily, who seems kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Like we've seen her
All the
around,
older villagers know exactly who Hattie is.
and they also know some of her reputation.
And-
And
I'm also dressed like an American, so
yes,
Yeah.
and
scandalous.
yeah.
and a bunch of people when they see Emma start playing, no, wait a minute, that ain't right. That ain't right at all. What is this? What is this? They've been murdering people, all them, and like clearly the tide is turning now. a bit heavier because they kind of didn't like it that Emma is clearly like, they liked her, you know, she's helping out, and they don't know what this is all about. They don't like it. And now they found this interaction disrespectful, and they didn't like it.
Okay.
Oh, and Emma's also like common born. She's not noble or rich or
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
She's just like a townsfolk person who just kind of got lucky in some
Mhm.
circumstances. And now the
Mhm.
rich people are just gonna take it away.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And someone's like, well, if you're not going to use the estate, why can't she have it? I don't think that's fair at all.
And Oscar's here like, I want to use the estate.
And he's like, well, but it's mine, he says. And like, I earned it by my birth. And that was the wrong thing to say.
Yeah.
Wrong thing to say.
Mhm. Mhm.
When Jenny went back
It's
to the
turning.
estate,
Turning.
Tyler would have had her pass along a message
Hmm?
to have the Brazelton estate send out, because it's like a warm day, right?
Mhm.
You said people are drenched in sweat. It's hot.
Yes. Yes.
For the
Yes.
Brazelton estate to bring out refreshments, since Oscar did not think to provide any for the common folk. The Brazelton estate will bring out cooled drinks and snacks and desserts and things.
Mhm, mhm. That's me resolve token.
Sure. Boom.
Mhm,
Spent.
mhm, mhm. They're gonna have to start like loading up to get all these things sort of made and built and brought. It's gonna be a
Mhm.
little bit of work. Meanwhile, people are very surly. There's a dead body,
Hoping it calms down soon.
Yeah.
and someone's like, they're gonna go and blame us. They always do. They're gonna blame us for that body. We didn't do it.
Technically, we definitely could blame Roland for that body if
Yeah.
we were true to canon.
Yeah. Can I activate another
Probably
one
what's
of my
gonna happen.
positive tags?
Oh.
What would you like?
I would like to activate my regal tag
Oh.
to step up to wherever Oscar is and like just I'm gonna give him the
You're gonna
look.
mom him. Oh,
Yeah,
you're gonna
I'm
mom
gonna
him,
give-
but with like class
yeah.
and dignity. Yeah.
Yeah.
In
And-
public? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
poor
Yes.
kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
It'll
I'm
help
going
appease
to,
the public a bit if he gets a
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna just guide him down off of whatever like platform he's on, and then I will say to the crowd,
Resolve token.
okay, absolutely.
I'd like to offer resolve token.
Oh,
Wait.
oh,
Result token
Okay.
from Hattie, or you're going to give result
Well,
token?
I'm gonna say what I'd like, and I would
Uh-huh.
like to know who'd like to take it if someone would.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
A gunshot.
I'll take it.
No, damn, I was slow.
A
How about-
gunshot
2-for-1 deal.
from a musket, let's say, heading out towards, let's say, then Oscar. Would you like to take it then for that resolve token?
So Oscar's being shot?
Yes, I feel like somebody is a little bit upset. You know, it's this whole train party in general, really, is what we're talking about.
Right.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I will accept that with a but/and.
Give it to me.
Hattie
Take the result
clocks
token.
it. Hattie
Yeah.
clocks it and she takes the bullet instead.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I mean,
Absolutely.
you do have
Yeah.
a very appropriate tag.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
A shot rings out, and underneath the sound of all of this, the train still sort of like the engine, you can hear shouts. Yes, shouts of people. And you tell me how this happens to you. What happens to you? How are you? Leslie freaks.
Absolutely. He absolutely freaks.
I imagine Oscar might too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oscar also freaks.
Yeah. So she and Oscar are up on the stage.
Mhm.
She gives him the mom look and then she
He backs
starts
down.
he backs down. She starts to guide him off of the stage.
Yep.
And as she's kind of like looking to where she's going to place him,
Yep.
she sees the person in the crowd, sees the gun trained on her son, and just shoves him out of the way and kind of like falls
Yep.
into the bullet shot kind of thing. And
Mhm.
I don't know. Do I want to kill Hattie in this moment?
I don't know. That's all you.
I mean, we could definitely have the bullet hit something else.
You decide how she fares from this shot.
Yeah, no, I think Hattie's gonna die from this. I think it hits a vital organ, and she'll get like a last moment with Leslie and her kids, but I think she dies from this. Trying to fix her son's mistakes.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Listen, if you know me as a
Oh,
TTRPG player,
I know you.
This is so on brand for me.
It is.
Oh, I love
It is.
every.
If you like, you can use that self-sacrificing tag of yours.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Before you can't use any tags anymore.
You can use tags after death. Don't think you can't. People have. This shot rings out as somebody goes, "Eat the rich," and you get hit, right? And you go down. It's like, I imagine it's all like everything's like quiet at that moment. What are you all doing? Monologue token, Hattie.
Ah.
So I got one giving it.
Yeah, no. Okay, so I think initially there are no thoughts. It's just kind of like that white noise of searing pain kind of thing. But then the numbness sets in, and she finds herself on the ground, looking up at the sky, and I forgot how blue the sky was here. I guess at least I'm home. And Oscar's fine, and he'll be okay. Leslie will write him. Will explain and make sure that he does better by the people and by the family. And oh, I can't believe Charlotte just saw this, and no, she's gonna have nightmares for weeks. And Leslie, poor Leslie. He'll be fine.
Leslie has his hand over your wound, right?
Yeah,
and is like trying to stop the bleeding.
Yeah. And I think she, like, the thoughts kind of fade away at that point. It gets to that point where you know, like there's not much left, if that makes sense. Yeah. And she can't really talk, so she just reaches up a hand and just does the face thing with Leslie.
She's like, "No, you're not leaving me. No, you're not going. Get the doctor! Someone, get the doctor!" He's yelling as you can just, like, the crowd sort of like picking up. And
I killed a doctor 10 years ago.
There's a new doctor.
No, we killed a doctor 10 years ago.
And some of the people start making sure that Emma is safe because they don't like how this is going.
Yeah,
whoever shot that must getting poisoned
I think
later.
Emma would have actually charged the gunman.
Yeah, I was going to add a thing. I have two tags that I would like to use.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Violet just looks for Roland in this moment, like sees Hattie fall and just looks for her husband. Yeah.
I mean, he would run alongside Emma for sure. Yeah. I would use Noblesse Oblige to rush to the gunman.
You take the legs, I take the head.
Except I'm also going to use Always Take It Too Far.
Yes.
And that gunman is going to be beaten to an inch of his life publicly by a noble.
Yes.
But not killed.
We're not killing him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not killing him. We're just...
Yes.
And that kind of set Roland for the future and how he's going to look at common folk now.
Yes. Ooh. And as Roland beats this villager, maybe not even from Barden Mill, actually, you don't know.
It was an assassin. They knew the Altringhams are going to be here. They're like, this is my shot.
Roland, are you like possessed by a rage, or like do you just like come to and your fists are bloody and this guy's almost half dead? I like to think Emma is like has been trying to like pull you back, and that's pretty much the only reason why this guy isn't fully dead is because she's been like pulling you off this guy as you've just been like tearing at him.
And then somebody goes, "We knew it." I would like to hit another tag.
Ah, crap, fuck.
Hysterical. I feel as if Violet's reaction to this, as your husband's covered in blood, and you can see the villagers getting angry, that your response is not going to be helpful. And your best friend is bleeding out.
Yeah.
I feel like I would like you to be what kind of super not helpful response you're going to
And
get.
I can't turn down a tag, can I?
I mean, you can, but it's going to happen sooner or later.
I was going to go get the children. But yeah, this does make a good moment for this to be hysterical. My best friend's just gotten murdered. You know, this, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, like, just, like, there's, like, that inhalation where she sees Hetty fall, and then she looks for her husband, and then it comes out. Like, she can't breathe for him. And then it comes out, and she is a little hysterical, just crying, and probably a couple screams. Just just, this is scary, and sad, and tragic, and what's he doing to that peasant, and then Hattie, and then where are the children? That's probably part of the hysterics.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when the mob starts. The young miners are coming. Now what are y'all gonna do? Somebody's hysterical. Somebody's in a rage. Some people are freaking out.
I have a suggestion for
Please.
Hattie's last positive tag, maybe?
Yes?
Devoted, given her charitable works for Barn Mill in the past.
Hmm.
Would it be a stretch to say some of the old guard, kind of like
Remember?
try to quell the anger? Like, it can still be there.
Yeah.
But it
Yes.
doesn't just become a bloody mess immediately.
Yes.
Like, they can, like, help make sure people who don't want to be
Yes.
here can leave and such, and children are okay, and the old can
Yes.
get out of the way.
Perfect. I was going to suggest
Yeah.
that I use it to get like not just my kids and
Yeah.
Violet's kid, but all of the children out
Yeah.
of the mob. But
Same page, yeah.
yeah, same page. I'm good with that.
What is her name? Hattie, what is the name of the first orphan who is now old
Oh.
enough?
Oh.
Her name is Margaret.
Margaret.
Thatcher.
And young Peggy, right? She sees how it's going on. She sees you, and you were the one who had taken her into this place. And it's all going bad. So she starts sort of trying to direct, right, some of the children to come with her as the thick smoke, right, is just billowing everywhere, and it's sort of gotten ugly, and she's helping to pull people out. Leslie is not leaving your side. Faith is gone. A bunch of nobles are getting out, and they've got carriages coming in. They're sort of loading themselves up. Lord High Sheriff. And there are a number of villagers that are protecting you, Emma. They want to make sure you're safe because they don't trust all of that.
Have I come to?
It's up to you.
Okay. I think once that guy is like a pulp, yeah, Roland's first thought is Violet and the children. And he can't leave that guy there because the mob's just gonna run away with him and we'll never find him again.
Yeah.
So he curses and is going to take the body of the guy and sort of carry him like a sack of potato over the shoulder and try to make his way back to where he remembers the children were earlier.
Tell me, in this moment, where do you all go?
How many resolve tokens do I need to stop a mob?
That's a question Roland should be asking there with all his resolve tokens.
Mobs are gonna mob, but you can mitigate them.
Mm-hmm.
I would like, because apparently I'm now the representative of the mob. I don't know how that happened. All I wanted was some personal
Well, you
power.
challenged me to a
working
duel,
for-
which they thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Somebody who was really pissing them off.
Yeah, but now they're like running away with it, and that's not part of the plan.
No,
But
but that's how these things happen.
she's Emma knows what happens when mobs get out of control. She knows what happens when you tear down society's structurally, even if it is things that do need to change. If you destroy everything now, it's just going to be chaos in the future, and you cannot. It's so hard to build from chaos. So she's going to try and manipulate's a bad word, but she is going to try and manipulate the mob into saying, essentially telling them that she's going to play her role. She's going to say, these people will not trick us into burning down our own home. We have shown them that we are serious. We have shown them our anger, and we have shown them that they need to talk with us. If they, for the future, Barn Mill does not lie with them, it lies with us.
Spend that resolve token. Does
And
somebody want to support?
Yeah, it's mainly just like,
Yeah.
Lee, everyone just go fucking home. I need time to think to get out of this mess.
Does somebody want to support in some way?
I mean, I have ideas and ways. But I just want to know if my darling High Sheriff husband has any ideas with all his resolve tokens first.
Are the children really safe?
Yes, that has been spent. The tag has been spent.
Okay.
They are being hustled off.
And Emma is directing the crowd, correct?
Kill me, Roland.
Uh-huh.
There are people who are probably going to lose their jobs because of this steam locomotive, and they were not happy.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Where's Oscar?
Oscar is by his mom, but he's being pulled away because we said the children would be safe. So he's being pulled away also because he's kind of a bit of a focus of
the rage. Yeah.
So like Margaret's pulling him away. Faith is already gone. She's like, I'm not here.
It's probably
Faith's
Samuel.
not even a
that's-
child,
that's-
please.
Yeah, Samuel is probably like physically dragging Oscar along and helping Margaret get all the kids out and things like that. Because Samuel knows what his mom wants. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, Samuel was always slightly more dominant one, which is why Oscar was here. Right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And Leslie's still there on the ground with his wife. As the crowd's like,
Yeah, before Roland basically leaves Emma and the crowd to whatever it is that she's doing, he's just going to turn and, but who are you?
To Emma?
Yeah.
If this is, are you saying this to her like quietly, or is it like?
I mean,
loudly?
I figure there's a shit ton of shouting, but enough that you can hear it. I don't want other people to listen.
Yeah, if there's a good chance no one hears it, she's just going to be honest and say like, someone who's trying to prevent more people dying. If she can be heard, the voice of the people.
Yes.
Then yeah, he'll just nod and bring the body with him.
Who's not dead? So people that
dead?
should help people not having a
Yeah,
death.
he's not dead.
Death's always incite more mob stuff. So yeah, not dead, just arrested. I think it'd be getting close to this point when probably confused people from my manor are bringing out those refreshments.
Yeah, which is awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it's like, not great.
I imagine the servants coming out and there's like already riots in the street.
Yeah, they're like, oh.
They're like, oh. I have ideas. I just don't know which is the best one to implement. Violet will get over her hysterics. And you know, the Brasseltons have been pretty decent to the people of Barton's Mill. She was visibly unhappy when he mentioned, as soon as the word
Yep.
lower wages was mentioned, she was like
Inevitable.
interested, and then and I think people saw that, and so I think she is going to follow her husband, and as she does, she's going to say something along the lines of, "You've heard many speeches and grand gestures today. Know that no definitive changes will be made to Barton's Mill without discussion, of course, and wages will not be lowered."
You don't have control over wages from the rail workers. The
No,
mines.
but I could help supplement.
Hmm.
Or have very strong words with certain people. I can put
Mhm.
pressure on people.
You can.
You've got influence.
I have influence.
What tag are you using for this?
I was gonna use a resolve token, but if I can use it, if I use it to use a tag instead,
I mean, it's up to you.
yeah, I was planning on a resolve token. That was my
You can do that.
thing, because I like my positive thing. But if I couldn't use a resolve token, I'd probably use good organizer or patriotic. But patriotic is in for the people.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
You know what? Let's do that one. Let's use the patriotic tag, but for the people.
Okay.
Because Violet cares about Barton's Mill
Yep.
first. So
Yep.
yeah, I'll use that. Sacrifice
hmm
my thing for that.
And I think it is with this sort of chaos, sort of bubbling, that we end this novel chapter. And so, now you have this moment as we end our space with this. No reputation for the finale. We have our passage of time. Time will pass. How many years?
Enough for the pain to still be there.
4 to 10.
If we do 10 years, I'm on the verge of being killed by the Barton Mills curse. just so you know.
Just Roland desperately packing. Getting ready to
We're
leave.
moving to the Americas. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
I'm good with any passage of time.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I didn't expect another passage of time.
Start
so-
ending. 4 to 10. Where would you like it?
Okay, what did we do already? We did 10? I think we did
a
4.
4,
We did a 4, we
Uh,
did a 10, we did a no passage, like
Yep.
a 6 months
Like
or
a-
something.
and then
Yeah,
a
like a
5,
year.
I think. Yeah.
5.
We haven't done 6, 7, or 8, I guess.
What about 2?
If you want a 2, we can break the rules and do a 2.
Oh no,
years
because
later?
it's 4 minimum. I'm sorry.
Mhm,
What about
mhm.
8?
8.
Let's do it.
I'm for
Eight's
8.
good.
I'm good for 8.
Yeah.
Not quite as close to the Curse of Barton's Mill age.
We
8. Adjust.
we will
I am now 54.
Oh.
end this.
Little Justinian's at 18. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Everybody up your ages. This will be important.
Except me.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
Oh, man, my lady's maid is really clinging in there at 67.
She knows where body's
Um,
buried.
She does. That's how you
That's
get safe.
Oh no. Leslie's
Funny
56.
He is.
Leslie! Well, he hopefully is back in the Americas.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. He would not stay in
Charles
Barton
is
Mills.
50. Dang.
Oof.
What we need at this moment
Oh, Roland's 54. They're so close.
is our final epistolary.
Oh, God.
But this is an epilogue. Note where you're at here, right? 2 years. Think about where you're at this moment. Now we go another 10 years into the future.
Well, 8 years.
And
Oh no,
10
you
more.
mean we do 8 and then we do 10?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, interesting.
We skip forward to that 8. Think about where that moment is, where you're all at
Mhm.
there. Now, 10 years in the future from there, each one of you writes a letter reflecting on what has happened. Each one of you tells us a reflection. This is a letter, and you can tell us who you're writing it to. And you each get one as your character, and you, if you wish, you may have a connection character letter reflecting on these events and what has happened. And you may write as you can write as your main character or someone related to them. But each one of you at least gets one letter that is a reflection on what has happened.
So just to clarify, this is our one thing, and then
Yes.
Okay, and
Then it's done.
I was 17. 8 years later,
Yes.
I'd be 25, but we're
Yes.
doing 10 on top of that, so I'm
Yes.
35 when I'm writing this letter.
Yes.
Gosh,
Gotcha.
so I'd be 58. Oh no, we're all in the danger zone almost.
Not me, new
Mhm.
young person.
How old is
Mhm.
Jenny?
Mhm.
32,
Doing
42.
a reflection on those 18 years
Yes.
or the entire game.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of both, right? But
Okay.
we want to know what happened in the meantime.
Okay.
And
Oh, okay.
letters are variable, you
Hmm.
know? This is a different kind of letter because this is a letter where you are reflecting back. And you may write, any number of people, really.
I know who I want to write as Violet.
Then please.
Gosh, give me a second to pull all my thoughts together. I instantly knew who. As soon as you were like a letter to someone reflecting. Violet's letter, it's a long one. It goes into a lot of detail about the past 18 years, but also over... God, how old is she now? Old. Danger zone age, the past 58 years in Barton Smell.
You have to tell us what happens.
Yes, that was me buying time, Drooper.
No, but I also mean we've got a big scope to talk about. So like, you
Yes.
can talk about all of that, like
Mhm.
who's, what, where, etc.
And it starts off with Violet sitting in her chair, much like Bilbo Baggins and Baggend, heading out her letter. It says, "Dearest Hattie, my close friend, I wish you could have been there. These past 18 years have been... I'm sorry, I should be talking British because I'm Violet. These past 18 years have been full of joys and sorrows, ups and downs, and I have fought tooth and nail to do what I can in your memory. Started a charity for the people, trying to get the people of Bartonsville better working conditions for the mines and decent wages. Couldn't stop the railroad. No one can stop what your son started. Very much like you in that regard. But the people of Bartonsville are happy. They are at least better off than some of the other railway workers in other areas of England. I also wish you could have been at the wedding. Your daughter was so beautiful. And we had it at your estate, the Altrincham estate. It was springtime. The pear trees were blooming. It was quite delightful. Justinian was very happy as well. He's gone back to the States with the rest of your family now. He did after you sadly passed, but they came back for the wedding. They knew I wouldn't want to miss it. They said they're going to start an orchard in Pennsylvania. They said it was very good for apples there. They wanted to make ciders and things. They seemed very excited about it. Of course, I invested in their endeavor, but can't think too harshly of me. I only wish the best for them. Charles was greatly saddened by your passing, as were we all. But I think he'll be alright in the long run. Jenny was very upset by it. I didn't see her very often for the next couple of years, but when she did come back from whatever she was doing, she said that things were taken care of, but wouldn't elaborate further. She's still unmarried. I think she intends to be a bit of a spinster. She's travelled all across Europe at this point. is very much about women's rights. I think you'd also appreciate that about her. She's currently visiting the orchard in the startup in the States. She said she wished another ocean voyage, and to mention something about South America. I'm not certain with that girl. The rest of us have been as well as can be here in Barden Mill. Roland and Iris is, I believe it, she is about to have a coming of age. I can't believe it. Goodness. Can't believe how old I am. Not many people seem to live past this age in Barden's Mill. But it is what it is, and, well, if some tragic accident happens or I get punched in the face soon, and at least I know I'll be in good company joining you. We've been through so much together, highs and lows, of you coming back from France. Oh, goodness. You helping me with Roland after he faked his death. Trial. Riots you and Leslie went off to. The entire shenanigans of Charles trying to court his now wife. That was an ordeal, and finding out you were a princess. Now, Your Majesty, I know you're in a good place, but I do miss best friend quite terribly, and no one has quite managed to take your place in my heart. I'll be seeing you eventually. Until then, I'll do your best to look after both our families. Yours sincerely, Violet. You're muted.
College students, who's next?
I can go.
Please.
This will be a letter from Emma
Hmm.
to Jennifer. Dear Jennifer, comma. I hope this letter reaches you before you move again. I know you try to keep me updated with your current location, so I may write to you about the affairs of the family, but given your ways and your impulses, I do find that some missives go missing, as it were. It's that time of year again, and as always, Charles has grown solemnly quiet. He's gotten better at hiding it, you know. But there's always this sadness with him. It's hard. Having grown to know him as a person, grown to care for him as family, past the family politics, past business, past the past, I can feel such deep sorrows from him. Sorrows I can never understand, for I never knew the person he mourns for. I only met her briefly, but from what I could tell, she seemed decent. Certainly did not need to die that day, and sometimes I still wonder, in the rashness of my youth, had I acted differently, would she be here now? Would she tell me stories of Charles in his youth, a side of him I'll never know and I'll never see? Forgive me, this time of year makes me pensive as well. The business my uncle bequeathed to me is doing well, of course, and in return, I have been able to repay him for picking me up all those years ago. Having come from nothing and seeing everything I have now, it almost feels like a dream. And yet, there are times where I know I don't belong, as if I'm some intruder in another story. The depth, the time, the history, all irreplaceable, all things I can never possess. And yet still I'm so thankful to be here, to have met a wonderful sister in you, a father and almost brother-like figure in Charles, to this wonderful place of Barnes Mill. I don't know if I'll stay. Certainly leave before I turn 50. But for the many paths my life could have taken, for the many mistakes I've made, I'm happy this mistaken path is the one I'm on. Yours truly, Emma Lee.
Who's next?
I'll go next, I guess.
Please.
So this is written as Leslie
Mhm,
to Hattie.
mhm.
And it starts with, my dearest love, I cannot express to you how painful every day has been since you left. It's like every morning I wake up and you're supposed to be next to me, and then I roll over and you're not. It was hard, those first couple of years. The boys used to call me Shadow Father because I was just not present. They did a good job taking care of Charlotte, and Violet was a huge help in that as well. We stayed in Barden's Mill for a time then, afterwards. It is difficult to think back on that day and to remember how far away I was and how I was not next to you and I was not there to stop it. And the boys tell me I should not carry such guilt, but I know Oscar carries it as well, even though he won't admit it. You'll be happy to know that the home that we built is flourishing and full to the brim, and many tutors have come to teach the girls and, educate them on the things that you would have educated them on yourself if you were still with us. The Astor Home for Wayward Girls is doing very well, and you had every bit of that success. The most I ever contributed was, I guess, giving you the freedom to do as you pleased, which is a lot more than some of our peers can say. Oscar is traveling. I don't see him much anymore. Again, I think it has to do with that guilt that he and I both bear, and not being able to look each other in the eye is a difficult thing to stomach. Samuel, on the other hand, is in the Americas now with me. We're in Pennsylvania now, not far from Charlotte and Justinian. They have an orchard, which you would have loved. It's open and airy, and it smells fantastic, especially when the season turns and the apples start to rot and there's that sickly sweet smell in the air. And I do remember how much you loved cider. I keep thinking about what you said to me that day, those last words that you uttered, about how it was my turn, it was your turn to wait for me to come. And it reminded me of how we were never supposed to be together. Everything that happened with your supposed father and you leaving, you were never supposed to come back. And I would like to think that I never would have married if you hadn't come back. Again, that's probably just me being a sentimental old fool, but It's what my heart tells me, and you've taught me that that's the only thing I can go by. I received the other day some news from my doctor that I will not be far off in joining you. I've settled things for the boys and for Charlotte, and the estate, of course, as well as the house. It's being well taken care of. And I must say I'm relieved. I'm sad to be leaving the boys, but I'm relieved to be seeing you again. And I wouldn't change it for the world. Despite the horrors of the war, the riots, the famine, the long winter, the moving to the Americas, that was difficult to say the least. But even your death, I wouldn't change it for anything, because those years with you were the most alive I've ever felt. And now that I'm coming to see you soon, well, it's the silver lining at the end of my storm. Yours forever, Leslie Altringham.
Simon.
I'm not going to write just one letter. Or if you would, I would write one letter to everyone who would purchase it.
Yes.
Roland has gotten on with age. And the latter half of his life was rough, to say the least. And so maybe about 6 years ago, he retired. He had dabbled in politics. He had tried to change things, but Hattie's murder just made him realize that not that all of it was pointless, but that in a way there's no way one single person can change anything. And in the last 6 years, he's poured all of his thoughts, all of his artistic creativity into a book. Reminiscent to everything that happened in Barton Mills. There's, star-crossed lovers, there's betrayal, there's revelations. There's a mysterious, heir to the English throne. He just pens it all, sends it, in the hopes that, I don't know, people read it and get inspired to make the world a better place than what it is right now. Yeah, and he calls it By the Old Sycamore Tree. And it's dedicated to Hattie Sedgwick.
And then I have one. I have a letter. And this is written to a William Bird. Well, it has been a long life, but I can't go just yet. Because after all, I still have to take care of Violet. It has been quite the time in this place where I have been born and lived all of my life and will die. I've seen so much loss. I lost my brother and my father in the shipwreck. And then, of course, I lost so many people that I've known from the town, all found dead in the mines, hunted or killed by nobles, most likely. This is a town where there's so much rot. People I know starved in the long winter, hunted for sport, died in a shipwreck, ignored, overlooked, lost. So many that I know were angry and wanted revenge. But I think about change. People came into this place that I never imagined would. We had a Frenchman come into this place. Become the Lord High Chef. He was an actor and everything. And he said words about the people. He became a lord, but I think he had a good influence on my Violet. I think her loving him and him loving her made her somewhat different than the people before her. I knew her father well. I knew his father even. They were somewhat colder, had sort of games, and we were always the pawns. But she changed. She was different in the end. The railway came and, well, no stopping that. But she worked hard. I think about the Chumleys. I think about Mrs. Chumley. She was a beautiful woman from Shanghai. And I think that she changed him too, although he became something not like himself once she died. But she brought in Charles Way to this town, and oh, that Spitfire Harriet. She was scandalous. Not married for so late. But each one of them brought something different to this town. She brought an orphanage, and she cared so much. And he was, well, he was a father that no one in that family had had for generations, really. And he raised good children. Noah's his wife. She's very nice. I've never really thought about the ways in which we could be different in Barden Mill. I never really got to see outside of this place, of all of our superstition and fear. And it comes, I think, because we've never been treated well. Then we become small. Because no one would help change things for us. And we tried, but we had no power to change it for ourselves. But this group of people, they tried. And I'm proud to have known them. William, you may not realize this, but the May Queen this year was me. It wasn't any of them young, noble girls who it always is. It was me this year. I'm far past my prime. But I think this little place will be different now because of them. They go haunting these places, but there's talk about maybe women might get the vote even. any day, any year, perhaps. You know, all sorts of people come in from the townsfolk. They come in and they've opened up the Way estate sometimes for Christmas. I think Lord Brazelton will do us right. I suspect he's going to write some sort of revolutionary pamphlet, something called about the sycamore tree or something like this. I'm quite excited to read it. We'll have someone read it to me. This place has had a lot of sorrow. When I look at the young ones, when I look at Charlotte, she's traveled, and that Jennifer, when she arrives, and that Emma, we all love her, you know. And Our Lady Brazelton watches over all of us. But I'm tired. I'd like to rest, but I have to wait just a little bit longer to watch over her, to make sure she doesn't get in too much trouble. Well, we'll be all right here in Bardenville. Oh, I think I've got to go up and make some crumpets for them all. Well, William, take care of yourself, and you've hit 56, so you shouldn't come visit. But please note that I'm all right, and so's Tomothy and, well, the rest. Keep the garlic close. And I will see you at the next holidays. Yours always, Abigail Bird. And that is your end.
Close out with the oldest surviving member of Barton's Mill.
There really was a vampire.
Please pardon me while I bawl my eyes out.
So, chat and all, I have an announcement. Happy birthday, Simon.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Simon!
Thank you.
Why is this
Thank you.
not on my calendar? It's getting
It's on my calendar.
I figured you were waiting,
I was.
like
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
biding your time.
I was.
Add
Happy birthday.
event name Simon's
So we have to,
birthday.
all of us, including chat, give our round out for this.
BRB.
Yes, because he's got his birthday cake.
He's got to blow out those candles.
He's got to blow those candles.
Yeah, they've been burning this whole time. That cake is covered in wax. To, like, break through it like those
I know, so
fancy
terrible.
chocolate desserts. Yeah.
Yeah, just put like, would they cut mordant or fondant or whatever on top? That nothing gets through
Oh.
that, right?
Oh,
Just-
true. Yeah,
You're not supposed to eat
Magic
it though, right?
shell.
You're supposed to peel it off, right? I think it's like
Magic shell. Oh.
Yeah.
that. Oh, magic shell. So, my friends, how are you all doing? Let us
What a-
talk about the end of this this 12 episode span. We have spanned from 1816 to 1849.
Yeah.
So, how is it going for you all?
This is like a post-mortem, like a decompression.
I'm setting the number of reminders for yearly 55, just so we know, because it seems fitting for this game.
Yes.
I know he'll be older by 55 by then, but, just save.
That was a fun game. I want a physical
Yeah.
copy for personal use later.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, I guess we'll go around and we'll say who we are, where we could find you, and I want two things from you. I want your favorite moments from tonight and your favorite moments from the game in general.
And I also want chat to say the same.
Yeah, chat, tell us your favorite moments in general from tonight.
Mhm.
Whatever. Try not to hiccup weirdly. Okay,
Oh,
here we
and
go.
Sybil Dews, I want to say things. I was like, I have to hold it back because all those things happen. There's also a famine, but it's fine.
A lot
Look,
happened
we were writing
before you-
sentimental, pleasant letters. We
Yes.
weren't going through, yeah. we all didn't expect an 18-year time skip. Also, we expected maybe a 10-year. So,
Yeah.
surprise.
No, but I gotta get you all like reflecting back on your lives at the
Mhm.
end.
No, I loved it. I loved it. We played it a whole lifetime. So let's start with Simon because it's his birthday, and
Yes.
yeah, tell us who you are, where we can find you, your favorite moment from tonight, and your favorite moments from the game overall.
Hi, I'm Simon at Wandering DM. You can find me not this Saturday because we're leveling up for Scion, but we'll be back next week, Saturday 1 p.m. on my channel for the second half of Birth of the New Gods, basically the demigod arc. And then on Monday, next Monday, for Vampire the Masquerade, Montreal by Night, where our dear facilitator tonight, Trooper, is going to absolutely murder a bunch of people. And that is it for me. So my favorite moment of tonight was the moment. Shit, no, there's more than one.
You can have more than one. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
This is our finale. I'm not gonna
Okay.
restrict you. If I do, I'll just mute you on Zoom.
Hattie's sacrifice.
Yeah.
Definitely is one.
Mm-hmm.
And the other is the moment when Yutai said, "Okay, Trooper, can I do my thing?" or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, what the fuck does he have prepared? Like, what's going to happen again?" And that was awesome. I loved it.
So good.
And then, I mean, favorite moment of the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Oh, yes. It's every time we had to do reputations.
Yeah.
Rumors and scandals.
Rumors, yes.
I mean, it's not part of the main arc of the game necessarily, but like that little group we created and riffed together, like that. Yeah, that was amazing. That's like the post-credit sequence that I really enjoyed.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Someone who I really enjoy would be Victoria Astor, Hattie Altringham, Hattie Sedgwick, Hattie Deadwick, and Nugatosaurus. How
Damn,
are you?
drive the knife in, why don't you? Even though I did it to myself.
You love it.
I do love it.
You asked for it.
I do every time. I am Nugatosaurus. I played, now that she's dead, Hattie Sedgwick, the spinster turned peerage turned altruistic mother of 3 turned self-sacrificing mom.
To save her son.
Yeah, to save her son. You can find me here on Mondays, playing in our Mondays in Exandria, the new batch game. D&D taking place in Critical Role's Exandria. You can also find me here on Tuesdays, being the Gate Master for our Stargate Flames of Hope game. We did not play last night because I had some stuff going on, unfortunately, but we will be back with that whenever we come back from our hiatus in a couple weeks. And then you can also find me here on the occasional Saturday playing in our Aliens campaign whenever we pick that back up. Favorite part of tonight was dying. One of my things whenever I create characters and I'm talking with DMs is I will give you all of the knives and I want you to hurt me with them. So being able to kill myself, I know that doesn't sound great, but it was very on theme for Hattie, and it was the right moment. It was the right moment.
And it helped diffuse the whole situation, right?
Yeah.
Everybody used their tags in that way.
Exactly. And then my favorite part for the whole campaign, I have 2. I have to agree. I loved our round table in the tavern as the villagers. That was just fantastic. And then I fucking loved when Roland was like, "Yeah, you're not actually a princess. I just sent you away to the Americas for nothing."
Yeah.
It was so juicy. It was so perfect. I was not expecting it. It was fucking amazing. And it's my favorite part of the whole game. It was phenomenal, amazing. Thank you so much for letting me play with you guys. I'm very excited to hopefully play with you guys in the future and, see whatever comes out of that. So bye.
Thank you. Someone who I hope to play with again in the future would also include Yutsai, Emma, Lee, Charles, Wei. How are you today?
Hello, I'm doing well. I'm so full of so many feelings. Hi, I'm Yutsai. You can find me on Twitter at TSAISU. I'm also in the quietest game on the Wandering DMs channel, which hopefully should sound familiar. Hill Country Horror, that will be tomorrow and one last week next week at, I believe, 7:30 p.m. CST.
Yes, 7:30 Central.
Yeah, so also having a lot of fun over there. I'm also in the Initiative Orders, the Old Town, which is another way of saying, I believe, Boston by night, but they apparently folks refer to it as the Old Town, where I play a fledgling vampire who does not know the rules and may die because of it. That is a bi-weekly game, which will not be taking place this weekend, but the next weekend on the Initiative Wars channel. I will be unfortunately gone that weekend. However, I encourage you to check it out. A lot of fun people, a lot of great antics. Also, I run games for the Magpie curated play program where you can pay money for a good experience by experienced GMs that have been vetted by the folks who work at Magpie, myself included. I'll be running a game of Masks. So if you ever wanted to be a teenage superhero drama, in a teenage superhero drama, similar to like Teen Titans, Static Shock, Young Justice, all those kinds of medias, feel free to check it out. And there are tons of other games listed there, all of them Magpie products. So that is a factor in play, but a lot of talented people over there, guaranteed to have a good time. And yes, favorite moments of tonight and in the past. I mean, tonight, like, I like happy endings. I like it when things end up okay and everyone's okay. And when Hattie was like, "Nah, yeah, kill me," I was like, "What? No." I felt like immediate regret for not playing Charles again. At the same time, I do think it was nice that Hattie's death was centered on Hattie's character, her intermediate connections. Of course, Charles would matter, but I do feel like it's nice that it's localized there, and I can still like give Charles perspective from Emma. So that I think it all worked out.
Yeah.
I did enjoy, because I just remembered halfway through the upkeep that, oh yeah, Trooper said I could just switch characters. I mean, I just made a character that seems kind of interesting. Charles is happy. He's not going to do anything in this last episode, so might as well switch.
And you did stuff.
Yeah, and then I did stuff. A lot of
So
stuff. It all makes sense if you know my goals, my personal goals. Everything I did made sense.
I love that.
But yeah, my favorite moments of, I mean, it's been mentioned twice, but I'll mention again, the drinking scenes were always fun. All those great side characters that we just kind of spoke into the ether. Honestly, I just like the one-on-one banter with Charles, as I was just kind of feeling him out between, like, he had such a different dynamic based on if he was talking to his daughter Violet, his sister, or his former lover Roland. I forgot how much fun it is to flirt with people. I should do that more often.
Yes.
Consensually, of course, but yes. Also, just like as far as like major twists go, I'm always delighted in wondering, is all this weird supernatural stuff real, or is it all in everyone's heads, and specifically Charles' heads, because he was seeing things, he was hearing things. And I liked leaving it up to, like, it could be one way or the other. And for the longest time, I thought Trooper was like, yep, everything's real. And then just going to rip the rug out of everyone's like, nope, secret passageways, weird dead dad who's not actually your dad. Everyone's related to everyone else. It's such a mess. So, so much fun.
Wonderful. And thanks to our facilitator, Trooper SJP, we were able to have so much fun. How are you, Trooper? How was tonight?
Tonight was great. I want everybody who is here come for the raids to hear what my favorite thing is, which will be a surprise to everyone. And I just want you to know it. So I'm Trooper SJP. You can find me Friday at my channel, Trooper SJP, at 7 p.m. Eastern for Tunnels and Trolls, like the second ever published RPG. And then Sunday night will be The Witcher at 8 p.m. Over at Praxico the Smorphoria, and then I'm going to go and kill a lot of people in Montreal by night as a vampire on Monday over at Wandering DM's channel. But so for my favorite things. For tonight, I loved the sacrifice. I loved the description of Emma on the ship. I loved Roland's complicated feelings where he is sacrificing some of his conscience for his love, right? That he's put in this position that he's like, this is not who I am, but I love her so much that I will be here. And Violet's maintaining of her position while trying to mitigate as much as she can, even though she's stuck in the system, so she can't, right? Like she couldn't go off to the Americas, right? This sort of really sort of complicated relationship of all of them in this moment, right? Where they're all coming into spaces, bringing new things in, wanting to leave but can't, wanting to change but can't, but then maybe also can, and then having these like it was such a beautiful, and of everybody's letter was just gonna make me cry every single time. Every single time. Favorite things from overall, I loved the trial. I loved how each character grew and changed. I loved Charles's relationship with both his daughter and his father, who wasn't his father, but was his father, right? I loved that really complicated relationship of reflection. I loved the way in which Hattie started off in one place and ended up in a very different place.
Alive
Her
and then
growth.
dead? I mean,
No,
I'm sorry, that was so mean.
I meant the daughter of old money living in France, coming back and seeing so much of the world and deciding to do something to change it.
You mean above the ground or under the ground?
Yeah. I loved Jenny. I loved Violet's. I will say this, no matter what was going on with Violet in all these ways, she still remained the Countess of Barden's Mill. And that sort of commitment to her position as nobility, as an aristocrat but with this heart that she could only do certain things with, but it's the power. She's like, I'm not giving up this power because I can do something with it, right? And that was such a complicated character in a way that I loved, right? Like I loved that. And Roland, I love to see Roland's long-term machinations, but also how he tried to work alongside this system. Like I loved all those perspectives, but I think my favorite part is the after credit scene we're doing as the villagers in the tavern tonight. I think that's my favorite part. Yeah. You know, after Lindy's outro, the after credit scene. Yeah. I think that's my favorite part.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite parts from tonight's session. I'm sorry, I'm still trying not to laugh uproariously at my own terrible joke of
I loved it.
Hattie
I
being
loved it.
in a completely different place from when she started.
Dead.
Sorry, I just had to get it out a little bit more. Whew, it was right there. It just popped into my brain pan.
You had to do it. You had to do it.
Had to just blah. Anyways, my favorite parts of tonight. I knew you were gonna kill Hattie in that moment. I was like, it's Nugget, and she's gonna off her character.
Respect.
Because I had that opportunity too. I was like, does Violet die in childbirth? Coin toss, really? And I said I just rolled for it, and I was like, yep, she lived. Shockingly, okay. But you, I know you. I was like, ooh, it's gonna
9 times out of 10, if you give me the opportunity to kill my character, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get you to play Fate.
And yet, when
Nugget.
I kill you twice in one session, you're all sad about it.
Within a minute.
Yeah.
Within a minute. In one session. Yeah, that was fun.
But I knew you were gonna do it, and I could just see it, and I was like, oh, it's gonna get sad in here, and it sure did. Oh my gosh. My favorite moments also included making myself and almost Nugget cry with my letter to Hattie. I was like, oh no, I'm tearing up, and then I looked at you, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
We're both tearing up. It was like the finale of our Mr. Ravenloft game all over again when I was Bully and I was trying not to cry and you were in Burn trying not to. I was like, why do we keep making each other almost cry in these finales? This needs to, like, stop. Or not.
Did you care?
We do care. We care so much. Someone who cared so much was Roland's character. And I found it.
Yeah.
His
A lot of sacrifice he made. He made a lot of sacrifices in ways that I think people don't even realize. I mean, everybody here was such a good player. So good.
Oh, if everyone, this group,
Yeah.
one of my favorite moments, just them existing in the same place at the same time, playing the same game. That was a great moment. It's lasted many hours over several weeks, so it's been great. Goodness. Also, Oscar's train speech, just because it was like, we could just see it going downhill, we were just like, no.
It was 20.
Oh, buddy. Ooh. That was great. Also, Edmund Gills' son's body on the train. I don't think any of us were sad. We're just like, so sad.
He has a son? Well, not anymore.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But goodness gracious, just so much fun overall. And favorite moments from the campaign? The trial was fun, but I really enjoyed us at the start when we were all a little bit leery of each other. We had the May Festival and poisonings, and we didn't know what was going on, and old people were dropping like flies. The
death of Old Man Chumley.
Death of Old Man Chumley, the death of my dad, and also every character Nuggetosaurus playing, getting murdered.
Died. Yeah, it was good.
Every single character you've had has died.
It was a trend, really.
Yeah.
We should have seen it coming, really.
Your characters are not safe with me. I will kill them.
And just the cutest, gosh darn little love story between Roland and Violet, full of ups and downs and murders and trials and deaths being faked. And I got some of my cards and it was like, you're a legitimate child. I was like, oh, I don't think Violet would though. She's gone through so much to be with Roland, which is why I asked for that swap out.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I completed more desires. So
I need to know if you did. That's
I did.
it. Yeah.
I did.
I also completed my long-term goal.
Which was?
So, the goal that I grabbed, what the heck? Let me flip it so I can read it.
Yeah.
Find home or make one. And she made the Aster's home for wayward girls.
What about Violet's goal that you got?
I'm not sure if it's this one or the other one or both of them. Oh, not that one. Well, technically yes, but not currently peerage anymore. Marry your child to someone tremendously rich or of the peerage. Mr. Ultringham's daughter is of the peerage, and that was my one of them desires. Oh, I can check which one it was on my sheet because it says that was my immediate desire. My long-term desire was break up the relationship between the object of your affection and their paramour. I was gonna have that be Heather Jills and my son, and I did that too. That didn't happen. Stopped it before, nipped it in the bud. So you look at me, just knocking out desires up until the very end.
I kind of slipped mine in the letter. Yeah,
nice.
I had to repay someone who had helped me in a dire strait, and I chose the uncle because my long-term goal was to, through whatever means, but I had to embarrass and override and best my cousin Charles in order to prove that I was worthy of inheriting from my uncle, which is why she was so desperate to grab any large leap in power, because she also depended on Charles at the moment.
Look at us. Bunch of desire finishers. And I loved this game. It was super fun. Indeed.
You know what that means, right, Lindy?
Oh, is this time for your post-credit scene?
Yeah.
Okay. That you just sprung upon me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we had writers come in and all that, so they got to go say, so, how are you doing with the garlic? Generally good rumors.
Sorry, I haven't been much sleep lately. You know, with the missus and the newborn.
Right.
That'll keep you up, absolutely.
Little Gary back home. Big
Gary?
Gary. We named him after our favorite vegetable.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, garlic. Yeah. Well, that's a good name. Good name. I like it. Wait, did you hear what I heard? I heard a rumor.
What did you
Did you
hear?
hear? What you hear?
That ain't orders. Don't keep us waiting.
No, I'm not going to keep it from you.
Get out with it, man.
Well, I will put it out there. It's about that Jennifer Chumley.
What'd you hear about that Jennifer
Oh.
Chumley? Or Brazelton? Or something?
She's a wily
Jennifer.
one.
What is she
What?
going by these days?
Well,
I don't know.
Single?
Well,
Unwed?
that's not what I heard.
What'd you hear?
I heard she were unwed, but I heard she weren't single.
Go on.
I
Who's
heard
she courting?
Scandalous.
Well, no, I heard something I shouldn't say, but I heard she's
Go.
got one of them there. All this talk about the Americas, what they call them a Boston marriage with
Boston
that
marriage.
Emily is what I heard.
Oh.
That's what
Ooh.
I heard. That those two were just pals. You know, pals. That's what I heard. That's the rumor I heard.
You don't say.
I think
Well, I
that's the
heard-
most scandalous thing you've ever said.
Well, I know, but the
I-
thing is, if you want to know the actual
mean-
scandalous thing,
Oh.
it's not that they got that Boston marriage thing sort of going on there, the pals situation. But I heard that the most scandalous thing is they're drinking coffee rather than tea. I know,
That
Dare
is the most scandalous thing you could have said.
I know. I wanted to wait for the big scandal part, which was the coffee part, not the tea.
Oh.
I know. That's
You know,
it.
I tried that once. Terrible
know,
stuff.
Those
It's like
Boston
dirt.
folks, they
It's
just throw,
awful.
they throw tea right into the harbour. So if it's Boston marriage, no
Hot
wonder they're
dirt
not
water
drinking the
is what
tea.
it is.
I don't approve of this American Boston situation. I mean, that thing part, but it's the coffee part that I don't approve of that at
Right.
all.
Mm.
Listen,
If
the
it's good
only
enough for
good
the sea,
thing-
the sea can keep it, is what I
That's-
think.
The only good thing about the Americas is that they're taking all the vampires.
Oh, are they?
Oh, mhm.
Listen, all right. So you know the Braselton and the Altrincham children, right?
Oh, yeah.
They got married. The two.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't I can't
A
remember
beautiful
any of their
wedding.
names.
A
Yes,
beautiful
yes, the
wedding.
rich people marrying the other rich people.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
of course
yes,
they always
yes.
do.
As it always
Apparently-
is.
Yep.
Apparently, Justinia, the Braselton, right?
Yeah.
Once he turned old enough, some say that Violet turned him into a vampire. He
Oh.
turned his wife, his bride, into a
Yeah.
vampire as well.
Oh.
And they
Oh.
moved to the Americas and they've got that whole orchard thing going on so they can
Oh.
be out in the sun during the day because the trees.
Oh, they get all the shade from the
Oh, I
trees.
Of the
see you,
shade,
yeah,
I-
Mhm,
I-
mhm.
Get themselves some
Right.
shade.
And they've got all their workers, right, picking the apples and making the cider and things like that. And that's how they get all their drinking, if you know what I mean.
Oh, they drink
Vampires
from the
don't drink
workers.
cider.
Or
all
the,
workers.
so
Oh,
the
the
workers
workers.
drink the
The
cider and they
workers,
drink the
aye.
workers.
Right,
Although I
yes, that's right.
suppose you could make some kind of blood apple cider.
Oh,
I
make
feel like
blood
that.
cider.
Oh, yes.
Blood spice.
Holy.
Blood,
aye,
blood
aye.
cider.
Blood
I
cider.
mean, I like a
aye,
good blood pudding, but I'm not a
aye.
vampire.
No,
No,
no, neither am I.
No.
Oh, my wife has a cousin in the Americas. I'll have to write to him and ask. But you know what I heard?
Tell me what you heard.
Did you hear?
Now, I
Hmm.
may have been busy. I may be running on 2 hours of sleep. You know, Gary, he's an all right lad. But,
Gary,
you know,
aye.
babies will be whining and fussing and
Oh, of course.
be getting up at all hours of the day and just pooping
Absolutely.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
What I heard. You know that book, that pamphlet that the sheriff, the law put out?
Yeah.
Aye.
I heard there's a secret message. And if you can first, you have to know how to read.
Right, yeah,
But
yeah.
if you take like the
That's
first
not gonna.
if you
That
take
knocks
the
me out.
first letter of every sentence, apparently it'll lead you to where the buried treasure is. You know, from
What?
way back in the ship,
Oh,
they moved
Chumley
it.
the
treasure.
Chumley treasure.
I still
Ooh.
got my axe. I got a good pickaxe and I got a shovel.
Oh,
Right.
I've got my shovel.
But
as
can
well.
you read?
No.
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 Yeah.
That may be I can't read either.
Do we know anybody in the village who can read?
No.
Can we
I don't-
trust anyone to
Abigail, I
read
think
this?
Abigail could read.
Abigail
Hmm.
could read.
She
Aye.
can read.
Oh, but she works for the
She does work
Braseltons, though.
directly
Work
for
for the
Lady Violet.
Directly.
And she's in her 70s now.
How is she? Oh, maybe she's a vampire.
No,
Maybe she
hardly
could
anyone in the
know.
village is that old.
Or you know what? Maybe she just lied and she's just like really 40, but she just looks like that, you know?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe she just
Could
had a
be.
hard life.
Could be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, my grandma said she went to school with her. Like,
I think she might be the
Your grandma
vampire.
went to school.
I know. It was laundry school. Had to do
Oh,
like
yeah,
into
yeah.
the laundry. like,
that makes
like
sense.
fancy nobles, they've got so many rules for their washing. You know,
Right,
the velvets
right.
and the stuff we can afford. You gotta learn how to
I
take care
brought
of
you
that.
to the
Sorry.
fold is what you did.
I once walked by a laundry school. It was real difficult.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a whole thing about how there's a whole thing about like
Like
squares.
fold the corners.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
aye.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aye.
don't even understand all that. That is business.
I don't know how to. I avoid schools like completely.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
aye.
Mhm.
Like they're just bad places. I think they
Yeah,
just
it's-
cram your brain with a bunch of nonsense.
and none of it has to do with vampires. So what's the point?
Yeah.
Or you're
What's the
supposed to
good in
defend
that?
yourself. Oh.
And apparently, some of them, like with the nuns, they hit you on the knuckles.
I heard that too.
Oh, I like me knuckles. I
Aye.
need those for work.
Aye, exactly.
You know, I was thinking about enrolling Gary into a school. My wife
No.
insists on it, but I just say, hey, give him a shovel, take him out to the fields, he'll learn the business.
He'll know. And
But
he'll
you
take
know
care of
what?
himself for the rest of his life.
Maybe you should put him to school. Then he could read the book. we'll
and
find
he
the
could find the
You
treasure.
can find the treasure.
But ain't that gonna take a while?
We've
I
got
mean-
time. Nobody else can read.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we're the same
getting-
characters
we're
since the
getting near
very
50.
beginning. We're probably like 80
My
by
brother
now.
pretty old.
I'm
We're
like
actually
50.
probably pretty
I'm like
old.
53. I've only got 2 years left in
Yeah,
me,
but here's the
possibly.
thing. I wouldn't worry about it because, to be honest, ever since that Lord Edmund Gilles died, most of us peasants have been fine. We've not been like mysteriously
That
dying.
is fair. That is
That's
fair.
fair.
Wait a second.
What?
Does that mean that Lord Gilles was some sort of warlock or something, and he cursed the village? And now with
Now
him
that
gone,
he's dead, the curse is
And
broken.
his son is dead.
Ooh.
So, oh.
And the last person to die here was that Altringham woman. Nobody's
right.
died here since.
You
Maybe
know,
That's
she
true.
sacrificed herself for us.
Maybe.
you know, I
if-
heard.
Huh?
Oh, go
What
ahead.
if none of us will ever die again?
What if we're all immortal now?
Hmm?
I don't know if I like that. My knees hurt awful lot
yeah,
some
yeah.
days.
that's fair,
Like
that's
I wish they
fair.
could have done it
Got
like
an
you
ache in
know
my elbow.
a couple decades earlier.
Got
You
this thing
think?
with my ear.
I wouldn't want to
Well,
live
I
forever
also
if
have
it was
that
to
thing
live
with
in
my
pain.
when it
No,
rings,
no.
you know,
And
on all
also, to
hours
live
of the
forever,
day.
how are we supposed to get to heaven? You know what I'm saying?
that's a good
Oh, that's
question.
true. That's
Ooh.
true.
Ooh.
Wait, we heard all over. We live forever. Have we become vampires?
Are we the vampires now?
Have we
That's
become
it.
the one thing we hate?
We've been vampires all this time. We never even knew it.
We've been working out in the sunlight, you know, tending the fields
did-
and stuff.
Maybe
You
we're a
just say
new
that.
type of vampire.
I don't know. With all them steam rolling truck things,
Oh,
The
yeah.
skies have gotten
Maybe-
a bit darker.
maybe that like
Aye,
film
aye.
in the air is protecting us from the
Yeah.
sun.
Oh,
And
it
I
could
do
be.
like blood
Oh.
pudding. I said it.
You do.
You
We
did
did say that
you did say
earlier.
you like blood pudding.
And you
Maybe
like
we
to
are
try blood
vampires.
cider. You did say that
I
too.
do. I do also like garlic, but you know, that's not the point.
And we appreciate your support.
You know, also I heard another rumor
Would you hear?
that all this time there's been this like group of people staring at us, making commentary. Like we make commentary about the nobles. There's
Aye.
a group of people
Aye.
making commentary about us. That's what I heard.
That's
Who'd
quite
want to
rude,
watch
isn't it?
us?
I don't know.
Who would
We
do
don't-
that?
We
Are
don't
you
have
talking-
anything interesting to say except to each other.
Strange. Don't know who it is. Maybe it's them orphans.
Could
You mean
Oh,
them orphans at that
There is a
table
lot-
over there?
Probably as orphans.
There's a lot of them.
They like to
There is a
stare.
lot. Aye,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they do. Should
they're
find a
always-
job.
because they're always looking for their parents.
That's what I was about to say.
Fortunately, they died before the curse was lifted, you know.
Aye,
Or-
aye.
or we got the
Aye.
curse of immortality. Oh,
Or something.
no, I feel like one person here's not giving us a rumor who's got their birthday going on.
Boy, I've been thinking about a rumor, but I'm not quite sure I should say it.
Oh, you should
Well,
definitely
you've
say
got
it.
to
should
say
definitely
it.
say
You've
it.
You
got
have to
I
say
mean,
it now.
We might be vampires, so you should at least say it, you know.
It's just. So what I heard is, well, it's such a secret, you know, that everyone who repeats it just dies.
Oh,
It's just
Wait.
sworn by the person who told me.
Okay, we'll just write
We're
it
gonna
down.
have-
No, you don't know how to read.
No,
you
you
have
gotta
I don't know how to.
Don't know how to
Okay,
shit.
just
Maybe if
just
they
don't.
say it real quiet.
Well,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
also immortal now, so we can't
Yeah,
die.
Oh,
Oh,
anyway.
that's
true.
true. That's
That's
true.
true.
We are immortal.
It's true. Okay. So I got this from my cousin.
Mhm.
right. Yeah.
You told me that.
Oh,
Someone get him some garlic.
somebody he needs garlic. Oh,
Where's
well,
the garlic?
turns
Get the
out
doctor.
we didn't actually solve our curses. It turns out after all.
Well,
Oh,
at least
that's
we found it
tragic.
before he said it out loud.
Sorry about that, Patrick.
Yes.
Wait,
Well, at least we won't
wait.
die now.
I
wasn't
did
it his
almost knock out my
55th
coffee.
birthday?
Oh no.
Oh, that was just his 55th birthday.
His 55th
We
birthday.
just lost him.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe it's not broken then.
Well, there we go. That's it.
Oh, right.
Curse of Barden
Curse
Mills.
of 55.
Curse of 55.
so who's in charge of all these orphans?
And
I think that's
that's the perfect spot to end it.
yeah.
on. Our post-credits scene.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all very much for hanging out. If you want to find more Laughful of Lindy channel content, don't tune in next week or the week after that because there won't be anything going on here because I will be on vacation. However, October, depending on how jet lagged I am, 10th and 11th, we might be back with our Mondays in Exandria, the new batch, and our Stargate Flames of Hope game. Just pay attention to Twitter. I'll yell about it. It'll be mid-October.
This is gonna be a special shot on a
There-
Wednesday on Lindy's channel.
There is.
Mm.
Wednesday the 19th, there's going to be a
Mhm.
special 2-player game one-shot that may involve 2 people here, both of which have spoken about this game. So if that
That's
gives
right.
you
It's
any
Nugget and
clues-
Yusai.
Surprise!
Wait, what?
No, it's Trooper and me, and it involves a little bit of Aether's Walkway, tying up some ends there, so stay tuned, but not for the next 2 weeks, maybe 3. I'll yell about it on Twitter. You'll hear about it, maybe. If not, you're lost. I don't know how to end this. Thank you all so much for watching. You've been wonderful and delightful, and thank you all so much for playing. You've been equally wonderful and delightful. Until next time, have fun and play games.